Well, it is November 5th, 2024, and we have a live update, current events, markets, and what the heck is going to happen here. Right now, we're looking at this thing at the current hour. It's 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 Eastern. Poll stations have closed across the East Coast and Midwest, and we're waiting for the tally to get counted here. We have some swing states still hanging in the balance, even though Trump has just received Georgia within the last 30 minutes. And it's looking like he's going to receive Pennsylvania at this hour right now. Here is the current tally. Trump with 216 electoral votes to Harris's 193. That's the current count that I'm getting from Fox News and the consensus across the board. Now I have a live stream playing of NBC as well. A lot of excuses are coming through. And what is taking place in the markets right now is exactly as we anticipated. The Trump pump continues, Dogecoin being the biggest beneficiary so far, Dogecoin surpassing XRP. It really hurts me to say that, but we're going to cover this full situation here tonight on tonight's live show. If you're with me here tonight, please make sure you have liked the stream, share the stream, get it out far and wide. We got a full update. I'm sorry that I'm coming here late tonight. The reason being is because I knew we weren't going to have any sort of decision. We're at a point now where we can say pretty certain that Trump has this. At this current moment, it looks like Trump has this. But we were here in 2020, weren't we? This is the exact spot that we were at in 2020, weren't we? And we're already seeing some issues. I got a full update for you guys. I was just waiting for things to kind of come on in a little bit. Wifey's got me doing some red light therapy. So I was doing a little red light session, 20 minutes with the red light on me. I figured that was pretty fitting for the red wave that we got taking place right now. You guys let me know in the comments down below how you feel about what's taking place here today. Current events, markets, full update. Let's roll. Here we go. So you guys have already heard the word, I'm sure. We got Bitcoin back up to a new all-time high. And right now, as we speak, 74,900. We already went above 75,000. Bitcoin setting a new all-time high. As we've been predicting, as we've been calling out the Trump pump taking place, look out. 2,600 for Ethereum. We got a Solana that's up 16% right now, up to 186. Just green across the markets, really, right? Tron, I guess Tron isn't participating in the Trump pump. XRP up 5% right now to 53.5 cents. It did get surpassed by Dogecoin, which is up by about 30% right now. Big run on Doge up to 21 cents. So a huge shout out to the OG meme community, Dogecoin. I'm starting to understand you crazies over there in the Dogecoin community now that I'm trading some XRP memes myself. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart right now. Big fat green candle as we anticipated, as we expected, up to 75,000. Right now we're watching this. I'm on my KuCoin chart at 74.7. As I go back to coin market cap, I'm pulling a 74.75. Yep. So I guess we did just get a little bit of a pullback. We're watching it closely. I'm on the daily candle right now. Let's move it on over to the 4 hour just so we get a little bit more perspective here of what we've been building out. Basically bottoming out here over the weekend on Monday, first thing. And from there, it's been straight up into the election. And, you know, this is something that I've been anticipating and calling out for a while now, is that this was going to be a big Trump victory. And it's looking like that's where we're at right now. The markets are reacting positively as we expected. The one asset that's not moving up right now is gold. Gold and silver are a couple assets that are retracing, but we're watching the stock market along with cryptocurrencies pumping massively right now. If I slide on over to Market Watch, I can pull the futures right now. And you see, if I slide on over here, the Dow Jones, S&P 500, all of the futures up over 1% to start off the futures trading session here today. When I slide back on over to gold, though, gold is back down to 2,745, which is basically where it was at yesterday. So it's kind of just chopping sideways. It's too early to say, I guess, that it's actually retracing too much when we're basically at the same level that we were at yesterday. We're not too far off from the all-time high of 2,800. But one thing that's happening right now, if I go back, where are my futures on our bond market? Our bond market yields are spiking, and this is on the anticipation of Trump running higher deficits with his tariffs. And so a bond market sell-off is taking place right now with yields popping back up. Now, one thing I forgot to pull up, and maybe I'll have time to pull it up later, you guys can let me know in the comments down below if you already know, is Jerome Powell giving us an interest rate decision, or I guess the Fed? Are we getting an interest rate decision tomorrow, or is that going to be coming on Thursday? I know that typically it comes on the first day of the FOMC meetings, but I think this time around they might be waiting till Thursday. I'm going to have to fact check myself on that. But we do have a Fed interest rate decision coming in the next 48 hours from the Fed. And at the same time, the bond market's already pushing back up. The markets are at all-time high. How can the Fed continue to cut rates, right? That's going to be the big question. Maybe we get a 25 basis point cut, but why should we get any cut at all if the stock market's at all-time high? If we're still posting all right jobs numbers, I mean, they're pretty bad, but they're not, terrible, right? How is the Fed going to be able to justify a cut if our markets are literally pumping to new all-time highs, right? So we're going to be watching the Fed here this week, and what's so interesting is that these elections, going back all the way to the beginning of this country, have basically had the same results on the election day going back to the very beginning. This tweet here by Eric Finman. You go back, I mean, we've had same day results all the way until 2000. And if you look at what happened in 2000, we did get same day results. It did go to the Supreme Court, right? That was the Gore versus Bush. Eventually was settled by the court, but the official tally was still available within 24 hours. 2004, same day results, 2008, 2012, 2011. And then in 2020, we have to wait a full week. It was like over 4 days. In 2024, how long are we going to have to wait for the results today? Drop your comments and your predictions right now. Let me know how long we're going to have to wait. Are we going to get an answer? I am predicting right now, though, that we will get a Trump declaration of victory. It's coming. It's coming within probably the hour or so. And so that's why I was excited to go live here, like right now, later in the night, is because I'm hoping that I can catch this Trump victory speech while we're on the live here tonight. But in 2024, how long are we going to have to wait for? Now, I did get a kick out of this one. Check this out. Neil Hartner, who's a senior software developer at Ripple, he puts a comment down below and he says, I'd point out that we can put a man on the moon. Excuse me. I'd point out that we can put a man on the moon, but can't get election results same day. But then a bunch of people would tell me that we didn't put a man on the moon. I love Neil. Neil's always posting some pretty funny comments. Nonetheless, let's get back to the main event here. The city of Milwaukee announced that it will recount approximately 30 to 40,000 absentee ballots that have already been counted due to an issue with one tabulator not being sealed. As a precaution, the city will recount each ballot. So we're already getting word of a recount taking place here in Milwaukee, the first of many events that we're going to see, I think, coming out. We're already seeing reports across Pennsylvania, across other states as well. Huge lines in New York, New Jersey took place here today. I'm seeing reports here. I think I actually have a slide later from James O'Keefe in Pennsylvania, where there's still been out. Voters have been in line for 4 to 5 hours, which I just can't understand. See, I'm in Washington State, right, where we do mail-in ballots, and maybe it's just a pure coincidence, but we haven't had a Republican governor since we introduced mail-in ballots. But I'm sure that that's just a coincidence, right? But the point being, in Washington State, we get till ballot boxes opened on October 16th. So you could have, we got our ballots a couple weeks ago, and you can start putting that in the drop box on October 16th. Now, the ballot boxes did just close 45 minutes ago at 8 o'clock here Pacific Standard Time, and I didn't cast my vote till a few hours ago. I was late, my bad, but I still was a few hours before our ballot boxes closed. But it's just interesting to watch these elections across the country. I'm watching these folks across the country sitting in line for 4 and 5 hours. I just can't imagine. Right? I drove up. I made a little TikTok, which for some reason is getting censored on TikTok right now. I don't know why. All I said I was doing was voting to make it, keep it great, make it great. and that I was voting for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. But for some reason, that video is being suppressed. I don't know why. But yeah, I roll up to the ballot box. I make my little TikTok. I drop off my ballot. There's no line. I didn't even have to wait in line for one car ahead of me, right? And so it's interesting to watch across the country. You know, it's convenient to be able to go drop off my ballot right at the ballot box, wait in no line. But then again, I question that, well, let me be careful with the words that I say here on tonight's live stream, but I just have questions, and I'll just leave it at that. And we're going to see what happens here tonight. But as I just reported here, Milwaukee, city of Milwaukee, already have an account 30 to 40,000 ballots. Here we go. CNN is now reporting that Kamala Harris's headquarters have fallen into complete silence, with crowds of supporters visibly tense, with some seen pacing, while others are beginning to lose hope as updates come in. Not looking good in the Kamala camp. Rep just won the Senate. Republicans just won the Senate. Yep. Moonshine Marksman. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you guys. How are we doing tonight? Thank you for stopping by. We got live coverage here, covering through this update. It's already full panic. It looks like Joe Biden has reported that he will not be attending the Vice President Kamala Harris election night watch party. I wonder if Joe knew how this one was going to play out. It's been interesting to watch him distance himself from the Kamala campaign, hasn't it? Funny meme right here. Plywood salesman in blue cities right now. The Scarface meme of the boys laughing at all the money they're about to be making. And yeah, the plywood salesman, we're already seeing Portland and other cities where they're boarding it up right now. I'm in the state of Washington, right, where they've already activated the National Guard. You betcha. Now, this is the reporting here from James O'Keefe that I was talking about, and a huge shout to James O'Keefe. You know, I saw him put out a tweet earlier too, and he was like, I've been invited to a bunch of watch parties, but we don't got time for watch parties. We need to be out here getting the word out. And so a huge shout to James O'Keefe, right? You got guys like Scott Pressler, Libertarian, like myself, who moved to Pennsylvania and just basically launched his own massive ground operation of purging the voter rolls. And also, the reports are that he's actually registered over 100,000 Amish to vote. Now, you know, it goes to show you here, there's been a huge operation underway here to get out the vote on both sides, right? But what's so interesting here is the ones that are putting in the work, we got to give them credit where credit's due here. James O'Keefe, one of the real ones, Scott Pressler in Pennsylvania. But what we're seeing right now, James O'Keefe in New Jersey. This is incredible, right? This is in New Jersey here earlier today. This is just an hour ago that he put up this tweet. Record wait times in Mercer County, Trenton, New Jersey, despite polls officially closing at 8 p.m. Eastern, which that was, you know, almost 4 hours ago. Voters are still enduring nearly 6-hour wait times to cast their ballots. Frustration and exhaustion are palpable amongst these lines, with many sharing that they are tired and hungry and ready for dinner. One even displayed a stopwatch showing that they had been waiting for 5 hours, 2 minutes, and 7 seconds. Another frustrated voter voiced his concerns. This system is brutal. In an attempt to explain the reasoning behind the increasing wait times voters are experiencing, he stated, quote, "The printer takes too long to print. You have to keep on pushing buttons just to try to go back and do things. This stuff right here is garbage," he added. "Waste of tax dollar money. Get some better equipment." Now, and so this is just incredible to me, right? Like I said, to watch folks having to wait in line for 5 and 6 hours, right? Incredible to watch. That's the current report. Quick count. Here's the current update. Let's take a look at it. Race to 270. We got 232 for Trump, 211 for Harris. It looks like the Trump victory is coming in here soon, folks. This is set to happen here live on the stream here tonight. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. And let's take a look now at the crypto vote. And before we do, let's take a sip of our adult beverage. I'm sipping some Proper 12 by Conor McGregor. I wish I was sipping on some American whiskey. I should be sipping on some Kentucky bourbon or something here from America. So my apologies. But I'm sipping on some Irish Apple Proper 12. Cheers. God bless. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So here's where we're at right now on the crypto votes. We're taking out seats right now. We have Governor Jim Justice of West Virginia winning Senator Joe Manchin's Senate seat, flipping it red. Crypto money was spent in this race, with Justice's campaign receiving $3 million from pro-crypto super PAC Defend American Jobs PAC. We also had Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong giving $3,300. So we got some seats. We got some crypto money that's been put to work here. Representative Jim Banks wins Indiana Senate seat. Crypto money went here. His campaign received $3 million from the pro-crypto super PAC Defend American Jobs. And once again, Brian Armstrong donated $3,300 to Banks. If we weren't under attack, we wouldn't have to be shelling out the money that we are. And it's funny to watch Elizabeth Warren. By the way, I didn't put it in here, but it does look like the victory has been declared by Elizabeth Warren. AP's been calling it for the past 2 hours. AP called it for Elizabeth Warren when literally 0%. We had 0.5% of the votes counted, and AP was already calling it for Elizabeth Warren. Just an absolute joke. And just absolutely sick to see that Massachusetts elected Elizabeth Warren once again. You had such a great option. And really, the lies of the media are to blame for what took place there, because when you look at Deaton, he wasn't MAGA. He wasn't even hardcore Republican, right? He basically just went on the Republican ticket because it was his best option to be heard. Once he could be heard on the debate stage and we actually got to start talking about the issues, he put on a debate clinic against Elizabeth Warren, completely exposing Elizabeth Warren. I thought that he did a tremendous job in the debates. Now, the problem here is that he has lost to Elizabeth Warren. And what I worry about for John is that he didn't endorse Trump. He avoided and distanced himself from Trump, which should have helped him in this Massachusetts race. I was hoping that this was actually going to help him win, is that he was going to get so much of the independent vote, and he was actually going to start to get some Democrats that were just, crypto voters, right? Crypto Democrats in Massachusetts that are just well, I can't vote for Elizabeth Warren. At least I can vote for a guy like John Deaton, who's a pro-freedom platform. But of course they didn't. And so now, without the Trump endorsement, the problem being he didn't win the Senate seat. And now for John Deaton to potentially get a place in Trump's campaign, I hope, I really do hope, I think that John Deaton could serve a tremendous role in the Trump White House. So I do hope that a deal can be done. And I think that we're going to have to look back at that one. I mean, maybe the Trump endorsement would have pushed Deaton over the top. I don't know. Because how much of the independent vote did Deaton capture by remaining more centric and distancing himself from MAGA and Trump? I don't know. I don't have enough of the, vote tally and kind of the results to see how that election really turned out. But what I know is that Elizabeth Warren defended herself on a campaign of painting Deaton as a MAGA Republican. So it's almost like Deaton should have just leaned into that, and he did a tremendous job because he distanced himself from any sort of name calling and generic conversation rhetoric that's the typical political trash that Elizabeth Warren likes to speak. And Deaton focused on the issues, focused on the facts, and I thought that he did a tremendous job. It's just that now I worry that because a deal wasn't done with Trump, that he won't have he could have had a role in the Trump administration, which would have been interesting to see. Think about that, the XRP lawyer within the Trump White House, even though we know that we already have Ripple connections into the Trump White House in the first term, and I suspect that we'll have plenty of Ripple connections in the Trump second term. But let's continue here, folks. We see that we also have Eleanor at a watch party in New York City, met with a former SEC enforcement director who was there in the later half of the 1980s. His eyes glazed over when I talked about crypto, but he perked up when I mentioned Gary Gensler's name. Quote, absolutely nobody likes that guy. Now, the comparison here is pretty incredible. When you look at the SEC during the 80s and the 90s, back when they had a little bit more integrity and they actually, fulfilled their role of, basically protecting investors and making sure that, securities are being sold through the proper methods and the proper registration and disclosures are being made. It was all about protecting investors and going after real frauds. And so to see an enforcement director, not just Joe Blow Schmo, an enforcement director at the SEC during the 80s, to not, care for crypto so much, but to still acknowledge that Gary Gensler needs to go, right? And that's why in tonight's live show, I put in the thumbnail a picture of Trump and Gary Gensler, and I titled it XRP Trump PUMP, is because this is going to be just so incredible to watch the shift back the other direction. And the panic that's already been set in, the panic that's already been setting in to these folks like Gary Gensler and others. They know their time is up. So we have that taking place. And right now, I'm going to refresh this page, but this is the standwithcrypto.org. And they got all of the crypto election updates right here. So this website, keeping a tally here, it looks like in the House of Representatives, we have 202 pro-crypto candidates elected, and we have 99 anti-crypto candidates elected. In the Senate, we got 13 pro-crypto candidates and 7 anti-crypto candidates. So if you go down the list here, you can see we have flipped strongly supporting crypto. We got races like this one in Montana, which are just now starting to count the tally. But you got, the Republican who strongly supports crypto. But this Democrat, John Tester from Montana Senate race, he's neutral on crypto, right? So it's the same thing as Bob Casey. He's apparently neutral on crypto, soft, disgust, pathetic, get out of the way for a Dave McCormick who's strongly supporting crypto. But the point being that even if this guy wins, we're getting some of these races are pro-crypto either way it goes. Look at this one in Arizona Senate race. Ruben Gallego, Democrat, strongly supports crypto, and so does Kerry Lake. Same thing in Michigan Senate race. Either way it goes, strongly supports crypto. Unfortunately, in the Warren-Deaton race, it looks like Warren has officially surpassed 1 million votes, Deaton amassing 651,000. But it looks like the winner is Elizabeth Warren, and she is obviously the champion of the anti-crypto army. She's going to be left basically powerless, though, if the Republicans do get a control of the House and the Senate. And at least if we have a pro-crypto agenda, she's going to have the power taken from her there. And this is what I love to see, right? Somewhat supports crypto, Maryland race. Somewhat supports crypto, strongly supports crypto. So, even in, some of these races here, you're starting to see a lot of these guys, no stance on crypto. We need to catch these guys up to speed, right? But you're seeing, we just got a lot of crypto money that's came into this election, and you're already starting to see that we've already flipped quite a few seats. Now, I got to give a huge shout, and this is what gets me really excited. Trump coming in, we're going to fire Gary Gensler, the Trump pump, it's a lot of fun. But when we start to have conversations about Elon Musk and Ron Paul playing a role in the Trump administration, this is what really gets me going. Because, like I said earlier, I'm a libertarian, right? I'm a libertarian at heart. My principles, when I go down all of the issues, I align most with a libertarian philosophy. Now, I don't really vote libertarian because there's nobody to vote for libertarian. So, like I said, I vote to make America great. I vote for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. You can interpret that how you see fit. You can fill in the blank for yourself. And isn't it interesting that you already know who I'm voting for based off of a statement of I'm voting to make America great again? Why would that be how interesting that is, right? But the point being, Trump pump, this is great. Trump coming in, fire Gary Gensler, awesome. But when we start to have a conversation about ending the Fed, abolishing the income tax, bringing in guys like Elon Musk and Ron Paul to, come in with the chainsaw like Malay in Argentina and just start slashing government programs, this is what gets me going. Because this is what every American should understand, is that all of us should be defending life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. and defending the American principles that made this country great. That shouldn't be political. Just like support of cryptocurrencies shouldn't be political. Support of the ability to use sound money freely should not be political. And that's when I fell in love with the philosophies of Ron Paul. He was the one that taught me about the Federal Reserve. 90% of America doesn't know what the Federal Reserve is. Ron Paul puts out this tweet here today. As it appears slightly more likely that Donald Trump will secure a second term as U.S. president, the danger of neocons yet again infesting his cabinet and administration is steadily increasing. Trump told Joe Rogan what a mistake it was to hire John Bolton last time around. But is he in danger of making an even worse mistake with Mike Pompeo? Beware, the neocons, President Trump. This is what I'm talking about. And this is when I think Trump can step in here and he has an opportunity. He doesn't need to bring in all of these establishment folks. He doesn't need to bring in these rhinos. He doesn't need to bring in the John Bolton military industrial complex sellouts, right? The bankster shills. He brought in some Wall Street boys, to his previous administration, without a doubt. We noticed that. He brought in Wall Street. There was a little bit of big pharma. There definitely was a military industrial complex influence. But we didn't launch any new wars, right? He said, you have the choice to do what you want. And that comes back to the libertarian philosophies. If we can get a little bit more of this, and it looks like Elon sides with a lot of these philosophies as well, too. And Elon knows all about this. Now, Elon's been activated. Last night, I got to be careful because I forgot that I can't talk about this on these platforms. Elon Musk, last night, he retweeted. He said, the hammer of justice is coming. And he was retweeting a story about crimes against humanity. I'm going to leave it at that. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to leave it at that. Elon knows. Not only does he know about Dogecoin, not only does he know about XRP, he knows about the crimes against humanity. He knows that we've caught them all. Why do you think they are in full panic? Why do you think that the Kamala campaign is a Diddy party? I got to be careful. I got to stop. Let me take a sip of water before I get too excited. I am here to hold Trump accountable in this second term. It looks like Trump has it. I'm excited. I love the pump. But just like Ron Paul, we have a great opportunity here. And I think that Trump used some of these guys to understand and expose the swamp. At least that's the excuse that I'm willing to give him for why we brought in folks like John Bolton and others, Wall Street executives and others, is because he was wanting to understand and see and basically, get on the inside. But now we have an opportunity where we can start to bring in folks. We have nothing to lose. This is the last presidency for Trump. He doesn't have to worry about any of that. We can come in and start making change. We can come in and start making change today. There's nothing to, we have nothing to lose. And what gets me excited, let me just say this. What gets me excited about Trump, and I know some people, are upset with me. I already know. I've already lost quite a bit of subscribers. That's fine. That's fine. Trump's not afraid to die. That's who I want serving us, is somebody who's not bought out, who will not sell out. He doesn't need anybody's money. This is why I like, rich men or women who've made their wealth independently, not in politics, but independent, wealthy men or women who aren't afraid to die for this country. You got my vote. with a general vision of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. Now, Trump says we're going to make all the Bitcoin in America. Does he even know what he's talking about? It doesn't matter. Freedom is the underlying principle. The underlying policy is to allow folks to, if you want to buy Bitcoin, that's fine. If you want to trade in silver, that's fine. If your state wants to make gold and silver legal tender, that's great. If your state wants to make cryptocurrency legal tender, that's great. That's what I'm excited about, because I worry about a lot of these guys can be smooth talkers, right? A lot of these guys can speak a very slick game. But when you got somebody in there who's already taken the bullet, who's not afraid to die, who's independent wealthy, and if they had something dirty on them by now, it would have been dropped. They just would have, right? I think we can all agree on that, can't we? If they had something on Trump, some of the crazy stuff that they might have on other folks in Hollywood, other folks that have been parading out to endorse Kamala, if they had the same things on Trump, it already would have been dropped. But they don't. And you can tell that this is why they're in full panic. Let's check it. Let me refresh it. We got no current update right now. We still got Trump at 232, Harris at 216. The race to 270 is on. Cryptos, let's check it. Bitcoin back down right now to 74,000. So a back test. A lot of volatility coming in for Bitcoin. We were just up at 75,000. Now here we are back down to 74. Watching it closely. Take a look at the rest of the crypto market real quick. A little bit of a pullback across the board. I noticed too, if you look at the top page, if you look at the trending coins here on Dex Screener, and you look at the trending coins here on CoinMarketCap, you got Trump pumping, you got DJT, you got DMEGA, Trump 2024, Trump 47, all of these Trump tokens. The pump is on. Now, the final point that I wanted to share here, before we check where we're at with the election and I start to open it up for comments and questions, is to remind everybody what happened to XRP during the first Trump presidency. What happened to XRP during the first Trump presidency? Now, I'm getting a lot of responses to that comment. A lot of people saying, oh, Jay Clayton sued us. That is true. On the last day, when this staged lawsuit got started, Jay Clayton filed it on the last day. But Trump didn't control Jay Clayton. He did appoint him, but he does not control the SEC chair and he does not control the commissioners. But maybe, we talk about this, if all the world is a stage, if, we're watching a movie before us, well, then it makes sense that on the last day, you would file this lawsuit and you would keep a Ripple XRP suppressed until the time was ready. And one might be looking at the timeline right now saying, hey, it looks like XRP and Ripple are getting ready right now, right? And so, yes, the lawsuit was filed, but remember what happened. In 2017, going into 2018 in January, that's when XRP had completed its pump of about 50 to 60,000%. So it pumped by tens of thousands of percent during the first Trump presidency, right? And then what happened, right, is it actually took out the 2 spot, and for a brief moment in time, it actually held the number 1 spot, right? It held the number 2 spot for a little bit longer above Ethereum. And correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think it's the only crypto to take out the number 2 spot in the last, what would that be? 2018, that's been 6 years. In the last 5-6 years, I'd be interested to see if any other coin has taken out Ethereum, because I don't think that any other coin has. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you know of any other coin that has taken out that 2 spot from Ethereum. basically since Ethereum's inception. XRP, I think, was the only one to do it. Now, let's take a look here at where we're at. I want to take your guys' comments and questions, but this is it, guys. This is the moment that we've been preparing for. I'm going to say one last thing, too. Remember my thesis. Remember what I've been warning about, which my thesis doesn't need to be your thesis. Run my thesis and my truth against your perspective, your thesis, your truth. I believe that this will be a continuation of the Trump pump until we get some sort of black swan event, until we get some sort of retaliation for the Trump victory. And that's going to come between now and Inauguration Day. Right? I talked about a correction before the election, and we actually got that on August 5th when the Japan carry trade unwind began. That got buttoned up. They were able to seal that one up and stop it. And we've been able to pump ever since leading up into this election. And so my thesis, and what I'm sticking to right now, is that the Trump pump will continue. But there is something that will happen between now and Inauguration Day. Some sort of catalyst. I'm not too concerned about trying to predict what it's going to be. I'm just concerned about preparing for that event. I predicted that if Kamala won, it was going to be a bloodbath. And then the other way that we're going to get the bloodbath is going to be the Trump pump continuing, but then something bad is going to happen. And that's what's going to be the catalyst to bring back down our markets. That moment of turbulence, that moment of shock and awe is when I'm planning on moving in heavy with conviction on some of these assets for one of the final entries that I'm going to be making as we enter this next bull run. That's my plan. My bags are packed right now. So if the black swan event never occurs, the Trump pump just continues. We go back to the gold era. We launch a new, we go into the gold era. Times are great. We're set. Our bags are packed. There's a reason, though, why Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, has stacked $350 billion cash on the sidelines for his company. I don't have $350 billion to stack on the sidelines, but I'm trying to keep some liquidity on the sidelines for this moment. The other thing that gets very interesting to me is upon the Trump victory, if we start to see gold and silver sell off, basically on the anticipation that, things are going to be relatively all right. The wars are going to be canceled. The wars will be stopped. Things are going to be, kind of returning back to normal. And so then the gold play maybe actually starts to lose a little bit of momentum. I don't think that one will last long either. I really don't. Because what we're seeing is despite gold being at all-time highs, there's still a record amount of inflows to the ETFs on Wall Street, and the central banks are still buying record amounts. So despite the fact that retail is not buying, right, by and large, this is not a retail pump of gold. We're still seeing central bankers and institutions buying. Now, let's get the current tally. It looks like we're still at 216 and 232. I'm going to refresh it. Looks like we're still there. Okay. Let's move on over to NBC. Now, who is this speaking? This looks familiar. Wasn't she the press secretary? Is that Jen Psaki? Is that Jen Psaki? Boy, she sure did quite a few doozies when she was the press secretary, didn't she? Oh, boy.
I have. They believe there are votes that are still coming in Philadelphia. There are still votes coming in cities. That's often how these nights go. So I'm a believer you got to wait until you know. That's what happens internally here as well. But yes, if you're on the campaign right now, you're feeling pretty down because there are places you.
So the tears are starting to roll in. I just saw somebody say that they cannot see me on their subscriptions and that I'm hidden from their feed, that my channel and the live is hidden from their subscriptions. So guys, this is why please make sure that you have subscribed, hit the notification bell, and please share out the stream And also make sure that you've tapped it, you've smacked it, whatever you're into. Just hit me with something. Or if you're mad at me, if you're mad that I'm celebrating the Trump pump and everything going up, then just smack that thumbs down for me too. Just do something for me, please. That's all I ask, okay? Let's listen in here. Let's see what's taking place.
President, and she said yes. And depending on how this night goes, I think that will be one of the questions that gets asked as well.
This is the piece that, and again, we don't know what the outcome is
Yes.
yet. But I think when Hillary Clinton lost, a lot of people felt like, a lot of women, a lot of Democrats felt like there's never going to be a woman in my lifetime, right? And I think one of the things that is going to be a challenge if Harris loses is that there will be Democrats who will not want to take a risk on a woman, on someone who's diverse, because they'll think, I like that person, but the country's not ready. Here's the thing. The country's not ready until the country is ready. With Barack Obama,
Yeah.
there's a range of factors that lead to the win or loss of anyone.
We'd love to hire or elect a American, America First woman president. We would all be on board for that, right? That's why Trump is about to be elected, is because of his America First policies. It's the economy, stupid. And you guys are putting up just a joke of a campaign. What else did they expect? I've already gone on record. I already pissed off and offended some people. So what the hell do I have to lose? This is the worst campaign in U.S. presidential history. It's not even close. They didn't even try. This, put it in the textbooks. They put on a clinic on how not to get elected for president. If you can't put your candidate in front of a interview, give a speech that's longer than 10 minutes, you don't stand a chance. They're trying to come up with a reason to still hang on here. And I wonder why are we still waiting on Georgia and Pennsylvania? Why are they still waiting? Now, this is the same thing. This literally reminds me of exactly in 2020, where they didn't want to call these states off, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and others, right? Arizona too. They didn't want to call them. And then this is when the games began. We were going into election night. I can't remember if I guess I wasn't making content I didn't start making content until 2021. But I remember watching election night. You guys all watched too. We went in and we went to bed assuming that Trump had won. But they didn't want to call off some of these states. Georgia had the water main burst that didn't actually burst. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the list. I don't need to rehash 2020. Let's just look at what's happening right now. It's the same exact situation. Why were we seeing reports on Twitter that Trump already had Georgia, but now Fox News and the mainstream media doesn't want to give Georgia up yet? Ted Cruz speaking right now in Texas.
At times, my voice, and certainly the patience of my incredible political team, who did an amazing job on this campaign, and I think is the very best team in all of politics.
Jay Beal.
And what I found traveling the state of Texas was worth every single mile. Because everywhere I went, I found something that gives me profound hope. Common sense isn't dead. It is alive and well in Texas.
Amen to that. Amen to common sense.
Everywhere I went, I met Texans who share a simple dream: to keep their families safe to keep their freedom secure and to keep their Texas values strong. Tonight, we are witnessing incredible results, especially with Hispanics across the state of Texas.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that one, do they?
And we are seeing tonight generational change in South Texas. The results tonight, this decisive victory, should shake the Democrat establishment to its core. I've spent months in the Rio Grande Valley.
Yep. That is looking good. Senator Ted Cruz securing it there. Still at 232 to 216 right now. Seattle Police Department arrests Antifa protesters. This is happening right now, folks. Breaking news. Seattle police shut down the Antifa election night riot in the area near the former Chaz Autonomous Zone occupation. My state is such a freaking joke, man. These little... Don't get me started. Just don't get me started. Don't get me started. Boy, we're going to be here all night, aren't we? We're in for a doozy, aren't we, folks? We're going to be here all night. Look at this one. We got Seattle police have responded to a group of Antifa rioters in Black Bloc. The militants gathered in response to a call for an election night attack in the former Chaz area. Not good. The Zach Rector channel only endorses peaceful protesting, just to be clear. Go out and vote and protest peacefully. Be nice to your neighbor. That's the official statement from my channel. Unbelievable. Folks. The gap is widening in AZ. Yeah, let's take a look at this right now. We got Dana White, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump here meeting at Mar-a-Lago for the celebration. The celebration. Looks like good times are being had right now. This is the vibe. This is the vibe that we're looking for. America is a nation of builders. Soon you will be free to build. Amen. Amen. Paul Grewal, Chief Legal Officer of Coinbase. I hope that the SEC understands what has happened tonight on many, many issues. The voters said loud and clear that they want change. Crypto is no exception. Stop suing crypto. Start talking to crypto. Initiate rulemaking now. There's no reason to wait. And they're paying for it, aren't they, with that crypto vote and that crypto money. And they're mad that the crypto bros actually have a little bit of money to go spend on some of these elections, aren't they? And a huge shout out to Chris Larson for donating over $10 million worth of XRP to Kamala. We know that, and Chris knew that she never had a chance, but I do believe that it was a good marketing stunt. So a huge shout out to Chris for burning $10 million worth of XRP to the Kamala campaign. Chris, we appreciate you spending those marketing dollars. Chris knew. Come on. You don't think that Chris knew that there was no chance? Come on. Kamala election party breaking early. Take a look at it. It's over. Hopefully they pulled up the buses, the same buses that they used to bring in all the Kamala quote-unquote supporters. Hopefully they offered them a ride home too. Hopefully we can take care of these folks and get them a ride back home. Not looking too lit over there at the Kamala election party. Whoopsies. I just saw a funny Mark Cuban meme on X. I can't share that with you guys here. It's not appropriate. Looks like Republicans are set to win U.S. Senate majority, seizing control of the chamber for the first time in 4 years. I'm going to go back to NBC here for a breakdown update. Let's take a look at it.
Trump's at 66%. 4 years ago, he was at 63. So again, the story of Trump overperforming in those rural counties, we're seeing it as well in Michigan. Still a lot of the vote is out, though. Look, we still need half the vote to come in. A lot of that's going to be Detroit, as we know. I'm going to look at Saginaw. This is a battleground county. This is where she toured that semiconductor plant. We don't see much there. There's only 1% of the vote in. I don't want to draw anything from there. We're going to check Kalamazoo. She appeared here with Michelle Obama. It was the Harrison-Michelle Obama appearance. Only 13% of the vote in, and she's slightly underperforming. Guys, a lot of the vote is still out in Michigan, but the trend lines we've been seeing in the other states, we're sort of seeing in Michigan as well. But again, I don't want to draw too much from that because there's a lot of that vote that's out.
So interesting to see you do those university towns because
it's shocking.
Well,
yeah.
Because there was a lot of turnout and Democrats early in the day were kind of giddy about that. But I think this might be a function of what we've been seeing, which is young men turning out for Donald Trump and maybe skewing what you normally would expect from a university town.
And something we haven't mentioned just yet, because so much of the vote is out in Wayne County. You have Detroit and you have Dearborn. That makes up Wayne County, that Arab-American Muslim vote. We're talking about more than 200,000 voters there. Again, it's probably not going to be monolithic, but they're uncommitted votes as well. The question is what happens? Do they not show up? Do they vote third party? Do they vote for Trump? Or do they stick with Harris? We still don't know.
Okay, Tom.
You know, if you almost feel bad for these folks listening to them trying to still keep the vibes. And I actually heard them saying that earlier. I was watching these live streams and they were talking about, we're still checking the vibe right now. It's still looking all right. You hear them, right? They're still trying to ask questions. Oh, well, we don't know what happened, yeah, of course. What did you expect to happen? We got the endorsement from the Muslims. We got endorsements from, all sorts of other groups as well. And what you see too is they continue to try to divide America. And what this is proving, what this election is going to prove, once again, in my opinion, is that the people just want America first. Like, we just want America first and freedom. It's just that simple. We want America first and freedom. Before we open up our country to just take care of everybody, go fight a war there, run up 35 trillion in debt, and it doesn't matter. Let's just keep running it up. We're done with that. We're done with that. The people that understand that, yes, although our stock market's pumping, although our real estate's gone up, we have to answer for this inflation at the grocery store, at the gas pump, when we go to, spend any other money on anything that actually matters, we're paying for it. And I think Americans have just had enough. We want no more wars. We want America first. And we just want to be able to conduct our business, whatever that business is. And I think that that's what this election is going to prove. And the meltdown's already happening. And to those who didn't want to see Trump win, and I want to say this real quick, because this actually got me inspired earlier today. I was reading my comments on the video that I dropped this morning, and one person said, Zach, although I completely disagree with you on Trump, and I completely disagree with you on a couple other things, I support your right to have that opinion, to make your vote, to say how you feel, and I'll be here with you till the very end, and I love your work. It's something along those lines. I took a screenshot of it, and I said, this is a person that gets it, because I was going to have the same mentality even if this election went the other way, as far as me and my family are taking advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, no matter who gets elected. It's just, we're pouring gasoline on this fire with Trump being elected. That's being reflected on the charts right now. Let's take a look here. We got NBC once again.
Are still voting. We're hearing that there's a polling place, a tribal community that has about 50 people still in line. It is going to take a while for those votes to get counted. In-person votes that come in today have to wait to be counted until the very last person in Nevada takes their turn to vote. So this is going to take some time. We also understand there was a University of Nevada, Reno, that took a while. There were about 50 people that still had to vote after polls closed there. That is because we're hearing same-day registrations were spiking at college campuses. College students realized, you know what, I think I am going to vote. And so they signed up to vote on the same day, clogged the system a little bit. None of this is to say that this is any indication that there's anything wrong, any indication of fraud. It just means that the system is taking a while. And as we often report in the Silver State, it may take a minute before we get totals here. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett joins us.
Let me listen in on this.
Hey guys, yeah, we've been tracking these across 10 different states tonight, and at least so far, we can make calls for 4 different states, and it's worth noting here, the places where the abortion referendums have actually gone through and passed are places where abortion rights are not in jeopardy, places like Colorado, where abortion is easily on the ballot there and has managed to pass. The first one, New York, again, obviously you can still get an abortion in New York, but there was a part of
Okay, yeah, I'm good on that. Let me check around here, see what we're working with. Comments, questions too, feel free to drop them down below. Jordan Wickle says, Zach, I made huge bags today thanks to you. Props, bro. Many thanks. Follower for life, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. We need more John Deans to run. We must have authenticity with our leaders. Stu, 100%. I saw somebody else comment America first from Australia. Huge shout out to you guys. Because it's the same principles across the planet, right? Humanity resonates with the flame of liberty, right? It's attractive. The flame of liberty shines brightly across this planet. And America used to be the shining beacon of that freedom and liberty. That's why everybody wanted to make their way here. And then, you know, an enemy, an agenda came forward to destroy and strip out that opportunity. Let's see if we got a update on the tally. They're still holding it. Guys, this is okay. Are we starting to get worried here? I don't know when the next polls close. I mean, all the polls are closed. Even the polls in Hawaii closed. The polls in Hawaii closed 33 minutes ago. And Hawaii doesn't matter. We already know they're going to be voting Democrat most likely. In fact, they've already credited Hawaii to Harris. So we're waiting on Nevada, Arizona. Looks like they still haven't declared Michigan or Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. Why have they not declared Georgia? Minnesota too close to call, they say.
We had the greatest economy and, you know, look how bad inflation is and so forth. I think that played well this year. I'll be interested to see whether there's a difference in Nevada and Arizona. Those are states where the Latino community is much more organized and has been by Democrats for longer than in places like Pennsylvania or some of the other battleground states.
We've got to make a call here, Secretary. This is NBC News projection in the state of Georgia. NBC News projects that Donald Trump will win in Georgia when all the votes are counted. There's the breakdown right now, 118,000 vote margin. But again, Donald Trump, the projected winner. This is a big call here on a night in which we've waited quite some time for some of these important battleground calls. Here's what the road to 270 looks like. Donald Trump drawing closer now to that magic number. He's at 246, Harris at 189.
Well, this means it's boo wall or bust for Kamala Harris. It's Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, or there is no path to 270 for her. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this as we await results in those big industrial Midwest states, as well as the battlegrounds out west.
Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, just like last election in 2020, but we officially just got Georgia from NBC. It took NBC. I think they might have been the last ones to do it. And I'm trying to, remain neutral and not so biased by playing NBC tonight, right? We can trust them as a news source, can't we? Right? So NBC, you could hear the sadness in Lester Holt's voice having to announce that Georgia has been declared a victory for Donald Trump. You could hear it in his voice. So now, right, same states as last time, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. Pennsylvania should already be done. See, this is where it gets ridiculous. Why is Pennsylvania not done? In fact, I had a tweet earlier from somebody, and they said a tweet like, Florida counted all of their votes were 100% counted within 3 hours after the election. The state has no debt. I forget what the tweet was. It was something like, and it really does make you think, how is this possible? Right here. Check this one out. Florida has already counted 100% of the votes 2 hours, 41 minutes after closing. They are running a fiscal surplus, so they're not running a deficit like most other states in our national government. They are running a fiscal surplus with no income tax. And within 3 hours, they have all of the votes counted. What is going on? Why has Pennsylvania not been declared? Now, Fox News is still showing 216 to 232. That feed needs to be updated. But the fact that they just declared Georgia for Trump, that's a big one. I saw that Tucker Carlson was streaming earlier too from Mar-a-Lago, and he had like 2 or 3 million people watching his live stream. Just incredible. He was interviewing Don Jr., and then he was interviewing RFK. All right, we're tuning in right now to
give
ABC.
him a Wisconsin and a Michigan. That gets you to 270, or Michigan plus a Nevada. There's a lot of paths that are now open up to Donald Trump because he was able to hold those 2 states. One of them he won twice. The other one he won once and then gave back. And we remember that margin, 11,779. It became famous because of that recording. And it looks like tonight it's going to be a lot bigger margin than that in the state of Georgia. Right now it's 118,000 votes. There's still some votes left, but we've seen these blue dots shrink over the night. The story will be that the Atlanta area did not come through in the same kind of margins. And the redder parts of the state, as we've been discussing tonight, we just have seen Donald Trump hold his numbers and overperform his numbers in county after county, bringing his numbers to a level that, frankly, he hadn't seen before. And that to me is just a remarkable part of the story tonight, to see how many places he was able to not just do what he had done before, but build on what he had done before, to grow his vote share in county after county to add up to this win tonight in Georgia.
What do you make of this, Donna?
Well, it's
So I just saw somebody comment. They said, every time Zach says Georgia, we'll drink. Steve, I appreciate you. What should the game be? Every time we say Georgia, we're going to be done with Georgia. Right? Trump already got Georgia. So we gotta come up with some other ones. What's going to be the game here tonight? What's going to be the game here tonight? We waited 4 years for this, man. We did not think it was going to have to take this long to fix this. The real work starts right now, right? I would say the work starts right now, even before Trump gets into office. And you know what really worries me is you sit back here and you ask yourself, who the hell's running our country? Joe is nowhere to be. Joe is sleeping right now. Joe already had his ice cream hours ago, and he's already asleep. And that's supposed to be our president. So Joe's already sleeping, and that's supposed to be our commander-in-chief for the next few months, or next couple months between now and Inauguration Day. You know, it reminds me of the 2016 inauguration speech, which I guess the 2016 election, he would have given the inauguration speech in January of 2017. But the point being, that first Trump inauguration speech, I remember the feeling that I had. Maybe you guys remember how that felt. Where it's just like, dang, like, we're back. America is back. Like, we're going to get to work now. Right? And you already are starting to feel that coming back. But the problem, why I continue to prep and pray, is because these people are sick. And as they get exposed, you can hear it in their voices. Lester Holt is about to start crying on stream. Guys, mark my words. By the end of tonight's live show, we are going to see tears on the camera from somebody. We're going to see tears tonight. Jordan, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Do Wisconsin because we drink. Hey, huge shout out to Wisconsin. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I got family back in Wisconsin, and I've been a Packers fan since I learned about football at a young age. I don't really care for sports at all anymore. But on my bucket list is actually to go to Lombardi Stadium and go watch a Packer football game there at their home field. That is on my bucket list, even though I don't really care about sports or watch sports anymore. I am going to go to a Packers game before I die. Can't wait to do that. Johnny, thank you for the gift. Johnny, thank you for the superpower. Your country is on the edge of the abyss and imploding. I mean, I don't think it looks that bad anymore. It's starting to look a little bit better. So every time we say Wisconsin, we drink. Oh no, here we got Chris Christie on ABC. Check it out, folks.
Only 24% in our exit polls said that their family's financial situation is better than it had been. And you had 45%, almost half, say that their families are worse off. If you combine that with the number who said it was about the same, over 70% said they were either worse off or the same as they were 4 years ago. So Kamala Harris is the sitting vice president. She's facing a situation where 70% of the country thinks the country is on the wrong track. And then when she is asked in the closing days of the campaign what she would have done differently from Joe Biden if she had been president, she was just vice president, what would she have done differently? And her answer is, there is not a thing that comes to mind. That may have been the single most devastating answer that she gave.
It was those
Good
words
night,
and the
God
pause,
bless, see
too,
you later.
Because, so
See you
much
later.
of political campaigns, as you know,
Good
is the
night.
visual, it's the moment, it's the interaction. It was from The View on ABC, and it was that question.
Right. Yeah. This is no surprise. This is no surprise what we're seeing tonight. What did you guys expect? You didn't even try to run a real campaign. This is hilarious. Shoot, we might be here all night, folks. This is going to be funny to watch.
She had some really great moments along the way, but that was probably one of the weakest ones.
Yeah, and I think her campaign was well aware of that, and that she never really was able to give that solid answer of how she would differentiate.
You think? Unbelievable.
No, a source telling us that is not going to happen. We do expect shortly Cedric Richmond, her senior advisor, to come before that watch party and tell everyone essentially to go home.
And in fact, that was the message just moments ago. Let's listen.
We still have votes to count. We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the Vice President tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation. So thank you. We believe in you. May God bless you. May God keep you. And go HU and go Harris. Thank you all.
Never an easy moment for whatever campaign has to make that announcement into the evening and say, hold on here, and we're gonna hold out hope in the early morning hour.
Wait. Did I just miss that? Was that an official Harris campaign statement? With literally 4, sounded like little girls laughing in the background. Like, what was that? Was that an official Harris campaign statement? It sounded like there was 5 people clapping and a high-pitched scream in the background. Was that an official Harris campaign? Votes are still being counted. States are still doing it. We're getting absolutely swept off the floor in every state that's done so far. Wow. We're going to be here all night, folks. They're not going to call it tonight, are they? I'm just waiting for the Trump speech. That's what I'm waiting for. No, oh, guys, oh, crap. Can I go back? Let me go back. Can I go back? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, I was able to just back up this feed. Guys, you're not going to believe this. They just panned over and showed this campaign rally. There's nobody there. It's dead. There literally was 4 or 5 people. Wait for this. I played this back right now. I'm going to show you here in 1 second. Check this out. Let me show you this. This is incredible. This is a joke. Look at this. It's going to be coming up here shortly. Take a look at this, folks. There's nobody. Look at this. That's dead. What is this? What is this? Bro's working on his jumper. Are you kidding me? Did you guys see that? There's 3 people in the crowd. Dude's working on his little fadeaway. It's over. This is done. It's not even close. They had to literally pay a bunch of kids to come to the rally. That's what that crowd looks like. It looks like a bunch of folks that got paid minimum wage to show up for the rally. Are those even real people? Bro's working on his weak jumper. You're not going to get that by anybody, bro. What was that? Check the form, please. Folks, what is going on? Kamala campaign. What is this? I wasn't joking. Look at that crowd. I can count. There's literally 10 people. There's like a dozen people in this frame. It's zoomed out, shows the whole stage. It's dead. And look at how much they littered too. It's terrible. Why? Pick up your trash. It's the least you could do. You got a free ride to the rally. You probably got paid a little bit, little minimum wage, and you're going to get a ride home. At least pick up your trash. Guys, we're going to be here all night. I'm going to get into trouble. I'm going to get into trouble tonight. I'm sorry, but this is a joke. This was going to be our next president? Are you kidding me? Wow. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. What is this? It looks like a middle school dance. There's like just some kids walking around. Unbelievable. Current update on it right now, 248 for Trump, 216 for Kamala. Watching it closely here. Yep, still getting reports of U.S. Senate majority being seized by the Republicans. Now, Digital Asset Investor says, how many of the criminals are fueling up their jets right now? That's a good question. That's a mighty fine question. Got Grant Cardone and Elena dancing as they hop on their PJ. They went off to Mar-a-Lago. They're in Mar-a-Lago right now. Love to see it. Love the energy. Love the vibes. Hopping on the PJ. You know, it's interesting. You can't knock the hustle for a man who made his wealth independently on his own versus these politicians hopping in the PJs criticizing us for driving a gas vehicle and, trying to kick us off of natural gas stoves. Meanwhile, these politicians like Elizabeth Warren are hopping on their PJ. Incredible. Fox News reporting Trump winning a staggering 23% of black men nationwide. Okay, that's interesting. Not a surprise. You know, it's interesting. They've tried to divide us between the race, the women. It was like, oh, if you're a woman, you have to vote for Kamala, right? There's so much at stake. And then Trump and Vance came out and explained that they believe in the 3 exemptions. They don't believe in a full nationwide abortion ban. They want to leave it up to the states, which is how it should be done legally per the Constitution. And so it's like all these things that they've done to try to divide a wedge has only exposed themselves. TST, I appreciate the gift. I appreciate that. Gary Gensler. Rough day for Gary, isn't it? Rough one for Gary. Wow. Wow. I just got a tweet here. I don't know if I can share this here live, though, because the problem is what we talk about here, we get in trouble. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this in my Discord group right now. Wow. For those of you guys in the Discord community, I just dropped the link in our Discord general chat of something that I just ran across. You guys are going to want to check this one out. The Kamala campaign has canceled all her public appearances tonight and will not be addressing supporters at what was supposed to be a celebration, with crowds of people now leaving, with some visibly upset and even in tears. Well, that didn't take long. I told you guys we were going to see tears on camera. That didn't take long. Wow. Kamala Harris will not speak at Howard University tonight. This is from CBS. Yep, it's official, folks. It's official. And that's the speech that they gave. That was it. The one that we just saw was the official speech from the campaign. Votes are still being counted. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Wow. Well, folks, I think I'm going to go pour myself a victory adult beverage. I will be back here in just 60 seconds. I'm going to play this clip here. We'll be watching.
That Harris won. They turned him on and got cheers for that. Instead,
I'll be back here shortly. Just give me 60 seconds.
From the situation, try to give a little pick-me-up to the people here.
All right, Peter.
Hold up. Hold up. Huge shout out. Stu. How you doing, brother? Great stream, Zach. While many looking at Bitcoin ignore it, buy gold and silver ASAP. The match is lit and will be flung into the White House hay barn. 90 crazy days, then we win. Hold on, folks. That's it, Stu. Survive till 2025. We've been saying that one for a while, right? Survive till 2025. Here we go. Right around the corner. It's going to be bumpy. Trump even said it's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty between now and then. And even when we do come into power, they're still going to be resisting. They're still going to be playing dirty. They're still going to be doing everything they can to stop us from saving this country, from providing life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. Why these people would want to stop something that's just so pure, so natural, right? These people are sick. Stu, I appreciate the super chat. Much love, brother. Good to see you. Always supporting the chat. Always here with us. God bless you, my friend. Okay, let me go get another adult beverage. Let's listen in here. This is NBC for you guys.
Good news for Donald Trump.
Yeah, one in the east, one in the west. Let's start in the east. Northampton County. This is Easton, PA, right here, south central suburbs. 95% of the vote is in. Trump is there with 51%. Remember, Biden won this in 2020. So Trump able to flip that bellwether county. There's still some vote out, but it's unclear if Harris can catch up. Erie County. We haven't talked enough about Erie County tonight. This is one of those swing counties that we watch in western PA. Biden won it in 2020. Tonight, Trump is on top. There's about 3,000 votes still left to be counted here. It's unclear. She's going to have to get all those votes if she wants to flip that county back blue. Let's go to the collar counties in Philadelphia. Let's talk about what we have here. So we want to compare to 2020 to see how she's driving out the vote. Underperforming right now in Chester County. Still 20% of the vote is out there. Montgomery County, 86% of the vote is in. 62% for Biden. Again, 60%. She's underperforming there. We move down to Delco. 95% in, 62.9, slightly underperforming there. Philadelphia County, this is where she closed out her campaign with Lady Gaga and Oprah as well. There's still a lot of vote left to be counted, 20% or so. 81% was where Biden was at. She's at 78. And finally, Bucks County here. Trump has flipped this right now. There's still about 30% of the vote is out, 69%. He had 51. Biden did in 2020. Trump tonight with 50%. Still some vote to be counted there. But those aren't promising numbers in the collar counties right now. And the bellwethers, one in the east, one in the west, showing signs that Pennsylvania could turn red. Still a lot of vote out, guys. But this may be one of the reasons, and we don't know why Vice President Harris decided not to speak tonight, but this may be one of the reasons why the trend lines in Pennsylvania, from what we're seeing, if she doesn't win Pennsylvania, there is no longer a path for her. Right.
And you're seeing some of these same patterns in other states as well.
Wisconsin and Michigan as well. We're starting to look at the counties there. We walked you through Michigan and Wisconsin. Still a lot of vote out in those two battleground states. But again, those trend lines that we're following, we're searching these maps to see if there's any positive signs for the Democrats. And I got to be honest with you, the more I go through these counties, through all the battleground states, more and more what you see in the rural counties, Trump is overperforming. Harris is underperforming the counties she needs to win, guys.
Remember, if she doesn't win Pennsylvania, the other states don't matter. If he wins Pennsylvania, he goes to the White House.
Right. Whether it's a call or not, it functionally is. I don't know. The minute if we call Pennsylvania tonight, does he get to 270? I think so. Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
So
That's right. It's ball game. I mean, that's
yes.
it. So.
And they're counting fast in Pennsylvania tonight as well. We're coming up on the top of the hour. I think we're going to have some projections to make. Yes. Don't forget.
We are going to hear
there's
from
one more state to go here.
Alaska right now.
Yes.
And NBC News projecting that it's, well, not projecting at all. We're saying it is too early to call on Alaska. And here's where the road to 270 stands right now. Harris with 194. Trump gaining ground now, 246, as he looks forward to scoring 270 electoral votes.
Okay, let's see the battlegrounds. Pennsylvania, we just discussed it. Too close to call right now with 92% of the vote in. Same story in Michigan, but we've been discussing how some of the trend lines are not positive for the vice president tonight. Michigan too close to call. Minnesota still too close to call at this hour. Of course, that's the home state of Governor Tim Walz, but too close to call right now with the what we have in here. Arizona too early to call. And in Wisconsin, too close to call. So I think, Tom, you've got Wisconsin. Yeah. We'll give you a chance to do the bow and the wow counties again.
Bow, wow, wow, yippee-yo, yippee-yay. Okay, Madison, this is Dane County. For Democrats right now, she's doing just fine here. 75% is where Biden was in 2020. With 95% of the vote in, she's at 75%. That's fine for her. Milwaukee, we're going to be waiting on the biggest city and the biggest county in Wisconsin for a few more hours, I would say, maybe more than that. She's at 66%, but again, 40% of the vote in Milwaukee is not in. This is a big Democratic county, so maybe she can run her numbers up there. But then when we look at the wow counties here, Ozaki, this is the O in the wow, 81%. Trump was at 55.2. He's almost matching where he was 4 years ago. Let's go over to Washington County, 68, overperforming there. Let's go down to Waukesha. Slightly underperforming, still some of the votes out there. But these two counties just south of Milwaukee, they're still part of the Milwaukee media market. Racine, 51%. He's overperforming there, but still half the vote is out there. And then Kenosha, 95% in, overperforming there as well. These are counties that were blue under Obama. Trump was able to flip them over and then hold them as well. We can go to the bow counties now. This is around Green Bay. 56% Trump overperforming there. We'll come down. Sorry, let me go over here to Winnebago. 50, again, overperforming. And we go to Outagamie, again, slightly overperforming, guys. So as we study this map, let me go to some of the Democratic strongholds, see how she's doing. La Crosse, 95%. So look, it's a slight drop, but again, when we're talking about a margin of 20,000 votes, that's what it was in 2016 and 2020. You want to be on top. You want to be overperforming everywhere you look. She's about at the same mark, slightly higher, but not by much in Eau Claire. And then another one we're watching, Sauk. This is one of those bellwethers, 50%, matching Biden 4 years ago. 95% of the vote is in. And we'll look at Dorr. That's one we're watching. She's on top, but only by about 466 votes. It's unclear if he'll catch her. She may take Door County. It's still unclear in Wisconsin what's going to happen, guys.
All right, well, back with our panel now, including our guest, Jim Messina, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff under President Obama. Mark Lauder remains with us. He was part of the 2020 campaign for Donald Trump. Great to have you both here. Jim, when you see those trends that Tom has been walking through, and there's a consistent of underperformance, what does that tell you about the Harris campaign?
Well, the county that Tom just walked through that really scared me the most, I ran President Obama's campaign, and I was obsessed with Bucks County in Pennsylvania. Where Bucks County goes, we go. And we spent more time and resources there, and the Harris campaign did too. They had huge operations on the ground. The fact that they're not going to win Bucks County is really difficult and starts to say to folks, hey, you know, we have a problem here. The other thing is there just may not be enough turnout in Philly to get there. And I've spent my entire adult life waiting for Philly to come in. I just have anger. I hate the Eagles.
All right, relax. Wrong table.
Exactly. But you know, every 4 years we're having this discussion. Usually it's enough. 6 out of the last 7 elections, Democrats have won Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah, it's not looking good over there. Now, Jordan, thank you for the super chat, but I don't even know what you just said, man. Can you do a why kill it beat stew, prop stew? Do it. How dare you make me bleed my own blood? I don't know what that is. Is that a song? Is that a movie? You gave a $50 super chat, so I'd love to be able to do whatever that is, but I don't know what that is. Much love to you, my friend. Thank you so much. God bless all of you guys. That's incredible. If it's making fun of Stu, I would love to do it too. Right? You know, I like Stu. I like making fun of our Aussie friends too. Shout out to all the Aussies in the chat. Australians get crazy. Stu says, joy, be unburdened, be whoever you be. I can't. You guys are out of control. You guys are absolutely out of control. Oh, it's from the Dodgeball movie. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I'm so bad at movie quotes like that. I can't recall what scene that is. Maybe I should look it up. I'll look up well, I'd get a copyright strike if I played Dodgeball. You guys are funny. Oh, Brian knew. See, Brian knew. I guess I'm just slacking. Yeah, even Eleanor Terrett's noting right now, she says, the night is not over yet, but one thing is abundantly clear. Crypto showed up this election. So we got the current update, 219 pro-crypto candidates elected, 106 anti-crypto candidates elected. So basically double the amount of pro-crypto candidates have been elected for the House. And in the Senate, we got 14 for crypto, 9 against. That's big. Formula Moment says, Zach, did my super chat come through? Struggled to send it with an issue. I didn't see it. We got one from Jordan. We got one from Stu. Did I miss one? I got another one from Jordan. No, I didn't see any other super chats. You know, it's weird. I actually had a couple other people that were saying that they weren't able to super chat. I don't know what that's about. The latest score right now, it's still at 248 to 216. 248 to 216. We still are right about there. They don't want to call Pennsylvania. Too close to calling Wisconsin and Michigan. And what I was hoping for is that we'd be able to get be on live stream tonight until we got a decision made one way or another.
For president in that state. But again, the ballot amendment we can project has passed there, Lester.
All right, Laura, thanks very much.
And you know what's interesting on that front? There's also another ballot initiative in Arizona that has to do with immigration. And the thinking was that maybe that would turn out, if people were going to turn out based on this abortion ballot initiative, maybe they would also turn out based on the immigration ballot initiative, that those would maybe lean Trump. But the Trump campaign has thought that there would be quote-unquote ticket splitters or ballot initiative splitters, people who would back former President Trump in Arizona, but also back this ballot initiative that, as Laura reports, has just passed.
One of the things that I think is so interesting is we're talking about expanding the amount of voters who came out to vote for Donald Trump is this decision that he made not to campaign with Nikki Haley. And a lot of people thought, oh, that's going to be a big misstep. To your point, Jim, it was his way of calculating, I'm going to focus on driving out the mail vote, because a lot of people thought, boy, that's a risky strategy. Why wouldn't you have Nikki Haley?
But he also never made any overtures to Nikki Haley voters. Right. When Nikki Haley dropped out of the race, there was never a sense of, here's an olive branch coming to my tent.
But there were a million people that voted for Nikki Haley in battleground states, and I mean, that's a real gutsy move to say, you know what, I'm not interested.
But the true answer is you could have done both. Like, he could have done both, like a good presidential campaign usually would. In a race where 70-some% of Americans say we're on the wrong track, this race was really close because Donald Trump couldn't ever grow his vote past these young voters we're talking about. Had he been able to do both those things, to your point, 1 million people voted. They were just sitting out there. I remember Nikki on one of your shows this week saying, no one's called me, no one's asked. Because they decided, to your point, they were going to go jack up low propensity.
Yeah, that's enough of that. I don't need to listen to them come up with their excuses and their reasoning why this is taking place. That's enough of that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. Up to 74,700 and pumping as we speak, folks. Look out. A little bit of volatility is arriving in our markets. This is what I love about crypto, is that we can trade 24/7, 365. We get a reaction right away. The instant gratification that we've all come to love so much gets fulfilled. Market moving. And it looks like while we were watching everything else, Bitcoin did peak back up to 75,144 on my Qcoin chart. Now Ethereum is back up to about 2,600. Look at those green candles. XRP back up to 53.5. Remember what XRP did during Trump's first presidency. Very interesting. Now I'm going to go back. Gold appears to be at 2,746, basically just trending sideways. Let's see what silver's doing. 32.3, 32.32. Basically 32 and 31 cents right now. Let's go back to the futures here. Futures are still up for the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, all up. Oil is down. Oil has dipped down below $71 per barrel in the futures market right now. Take a look at some of these others here. There it is. Formula moments. I did see your super chat here. The euro, paying in the euro dollar. Appreciate that. I love to see our audience. That's what I like about going live late night, is we get Australia, we get Asia, we get Europe in the chat, and that's fun. Formula Moment says, hey, Zach, wanted to say thank you for the great and consistent content as always. Hashtag get gone Gary. 6 a.m. in the UK right now. Stayed up for the results. You're a real one. You are a real one. And that just goes to show how important this election really is, even viewed across the rest of the world as well, right? So much at stake here, in particular for us in the cryptocurrency space. And what I love to see is that across the board here, we're getting pro-crypto candidates elected. Some Democrats, some Republicans, but they're pro-crypto. That's moving us in the right direction. Now, Johnny just sent me a galaxy. Johnny, that's a big one on TikTok, isn't it? Johnny. Who is Johnny? Which Johnny is this? This is a different Johnny I've never seen before. This is a different... What is that in your profile picture, my friend? Wow. Oh, that's Magnum. Okay. Johnny, I appreciate you. Thank you for all the gifts tonight. As always, Formula. Just trying to keep the content that coming that matters most to you guys. Current events, financial markets. Right now, this moment here, just been incredible to watch. It's up and up from here until they launch their next attack, right? That's the only thing that we're watching out for right now. It's up and up from here until they retaliate.
But the big story for me right now, and a lot of the vote is out, Clark County, I mean, this is 3/4 of Nevada right here. If Democrats hit certain margins where they're 50,000 or 60,000 votes ahead of Republicans, Republicans will never catch up in Nevada. Again, there's a lot of vote that's still out. We can find out exactly how much is out. 223,000 votes, so still a lot out there. Democrats won't get all of those, but they'll get a large chunk. Again, this is still a little too close this early in the night. Guys?
All right, Tom, thanks very much. I want to go out to Steve Patterson. He is in Reno, Nevada, where they had long lines into the night. How are things going there now?
You know, Lester, really an experience, a process that is sort of winding down in most counties across the country is only just spooling up here in Nevada. As you mentioned, you know, voting really ended just a few minutes ago with some of these counties sort of ending the process. People were still in line hours after polls closed. And so the count couldn't really start until that happened, which is why Tom Yamas reporting, obviously, that it's still too close to call, too early.
Now, did Nevada not do daylight savings time? Right? They always do. It's Arizona that doesn't, right? So they're on the same time as us here in the West Coast. It's 10 o'clock. It's a quarter after 10. And he's saying that they're just ramping up the process. Nevada, we're going to have our eyes on Nevada here once again. They still haven't called Pennsylvania. They still haven't called Wisconsin. They still haven't called Michigan. Nevada is just getting started. I guess it's Vegas, right? You know, well, I guess Nevada is just not Vegas. There's a lot more to Nevada than Vegas, I guess. But you guys get the point. What's going on here? Why is Nevada here just getting started? Let's get them going here.
Huge segment of the electorate here in Nevada. It is larger than Republicans, larger than Democrats. Of course, they all have their opinions about which way they break, different leanings. And I think both campaigns feel like they're seizing on that. They feel like they know their voters in that group. But that's what makes it so notoriously hard to read in this state. Which way are these nonpartisan voters going? And I think that's sort of what we're going to be focused on within the next few hours. It may not be until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock tonight before we start seeing legitimate, solid returns that'll tell us one way or another how the state is going to go.
Folks, did he just say 2 or 3 o'clock? We got another 4 hours to go? Oh my goodness. You guys better pour yourselves another adult beverage. Let's roll. Checking in at Trump headquarters. Are we going to get a victory speech here soon, folks? Let's listen in.
On his way across from Mar-a-Lago to here in West Palm Beach, and he is expected to speak soon. Now, what soon means is a little bit of a open to interpretation, but Trump himself made it very clear earlier today. He does not have a lot of patience with this vote counting process. He wants this to be over tonight. He thought earlier today it would be over tonight. And it was his desire to speak tonight. Now you see that picture breaking up a little bit as he makes his way across the bridge to West Palm Beach. This ballroom is full. Secret Service starting to kind of close the doors, urge people to get in. They're cranking up the music, Savannah. I do not think it will be long until we hear from former President Trump.
And that will be an interesting situation because if assuming the status quo exists, he will not have been called as the next president.
Well, we will recall that he declared victory in 2020 when, in fact, he lost. So we'll see what his verbiage is here. What are you going to say?
I was going to say.
Oh, boy. Here we go again. Here we go again. He did the same thing in 2020, where he declared victory when he actually lost in 2020. Right? Right? Folks, we're going to be live here till Trump goes live and gives us a speech. If you haven't already, smack it, tap it, thumbs it up, thumbs it down. If you're mad, if you love it, happy, sad, give me your reaction, give me a comment, share it out far and wide. We're going to be hanging around till Trump gives his speech tonight, November 5th, 2024. America decides. Maybe we get an answer tonight. Maybe we don't. But I'm staying live till Trump speaks. We're going to see if he declares victory once again. And then I'm going to bed. Okay. But until then, we are partying. We are staying up. And it looks like he's on the way right now to give a speech. So it looks like we get a Trump speech coming up here shortly. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We're getting live feed, live visuals from Trump headquarters right now. And it's not looking like the Kamala party that is already ending. The Kamala campaign already shut it down and said that she's not going to give a speech tonight. So Kamala is off to bed. She'll be back tomorrow. Trump, the party looks like it's about to get started here. Yep, they're going to quick break. So this is where we're at right now. XRP up to 53.8. What are we doing? 74.9. Bitcoin about to break 75,000. Take a look at it. 75,000 for your Bitcoin. There you go. Crypto Cowboy sending lightning bolts. God bless you guys. We're returning to the gold era. Huge shout out to the chat tonight, keeping it lit. Love you guys so much. 75,069 for your Bitcoin and moving. Bitcoin up. Futures markets up. Vibes in America lit. $75,200. New all-time high achieved for Bitcoin. We're watching it right now, folks, live. 75,250. Can we break it? Can we hit it? Can you give it to us? 75.2. We got a 75.2 for your Bitcoin. New drinking game. Every time I mention 75,000 Bitcoin, you take a drink. 54 cent XRP. Every time I mention 54 cent XRP, you know what to do. We were a little bit short of the 54 cent XRP. We got a 53.89. Not to be confused with a 5.89, but a 53.89. 75.2 for your Bitcoin. Wow. Crypto is so much fun, man. There it was. Quick wick up. We got a quick wick. Right up nearly 54. We didn't hit 54, but I said 54. So that means you take a swig of your adult beverage. I'm just trying to keep you guys entertained while we wait here for the update. Battleground alert. Check it out.
All right, there's the road to 270. Donald Trump inching closer to the magic 270. Harris with 194. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania, the important battleground state, maybe the most important. Donald Trump with a narrow lead there. That is still too close to call. 93% of the vote in Pennsylvania. This is what it looks like in Michigan right now. Trump out with a lead over Kamala Harris and a 225,000 vote difference. 67% of the vote in. That's too close to call. Wisconsin, another key battleground state in play. Too close to call there. 89% of the vote is in there. And we can show you Nevada with its 6 electoral votes. Too close to call. 37,000 vote difference. Minnesota, it is Kamala Harris leading, but that is characterized by our decision desk as too close to call. 85,000 vote difference in Minnesota. Tom, we'll send it back over to you.
Yep, we're going to be looking at Arizona right now. The closest margin.
Okay, how is Minnesota only 76% counted? Only 76% in. What's happening? Arizona, 53% in. Let's take a listen.
Maricopa County, 60% of the vote. This is sort of, you want to win here to win the state. Harris is on top right now. We can compare her to 4 years ago. But again, half the vote is out in Maricopa County. But she's kind of where she wants to be. She's doing a little better in Pima County. Again,
okay, I'm reading your guys' comments right now. It appears that some folks are declaring Pennsylvania for Trump. Did that just come in? Are we back? Chat, are you with me? Did we just get Pennsylvania?
Now at La Paz, 71. We go a little further, Mojave, 75, he's at 76. We'll come over here to Navajo, 53, he's at 61, still half the votes out over there. Finally, 58 and 60%. So you can see, I want to show you an interesting stat, though. So remember where this race is right here, right? It's neck and neck. Let's go to the Senate race here, and it's a much different story. Look how much ahead Gallego is over Kerry Lake right here. So you could have that split ticket voter effect in Arizona happening right now. Again, Gallego's at 52%, Kerry Lake's at 46%. When we come back to the president's race, 50-49. So you can see what's happening there. We even heard Jen Psaki talking about this, right? There could be voters who, you know, the border's important to them, the economy's obviously important to them as well, and they could be picking Trump for the presidency, but Ruben Gallego for the Senate, guys.
I think the abortion ballot measure passed as well in Arizona. So, you know, voters aren't always sticking to the categories people want to put them in. Can we see the Nevada Senate race? So if Gallego gets the
People aren't always sticking to the categories that people put them in, like the mainstream media, that wants to put us all in a little box.
Brad, they didn't think this was going to be a tough race for them. This is a little tough right now. But again, a lot of the vote is still out in Clark County. Let's see. We can see how compared to Biden. She's slightly underperforming Biden, but again, there's.
Okay, folks, this is breaking news right now. I'm getting reports in the chat. Fox is calling Pennsylvania for Trump, and the Daily Wire is calling Pennsylvania for Trump. I'm going to check. Let's check around here right now. It looks like Fox and other outlets are starting to call Pennsylvania for Trump. Yep. Digital Asset Investor just shared it here on Twitter. Pennsylvania just called Trump wins from Fox. So Fox is declaring a Trump victory for Pennsylvania. There it is. It's being reported. Donald Trump projected to become the 47th president of the United States from the Decision Desk headquarters. Decision Desk headquarters says Donald Trump projected to be the 47th president of the United States. Folks, what is happening in Pennsylvania? James O'Keefe, live on the ground. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Pennsylvania election judge found in room without required oversight for ballot tabulation. Folks, James O'Keefe putting in work. Wow. Pennsylvania. Trump. It's in. Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States, folks. They're calling it. They're calling this now. Now, what's interesting here is NBC doesn't want to call it. Of course. NBC doesn't want to call it. The Trump campaign, the Trump headquarters is already partying. Take a look at this live shot.
More question further. Has he made the process more coarse in general, the key to getting elected president?
Well, I think obviously he's got his own unique style, and he speaks in his language. But I also think, when we were talking about this earlier, I think Jim Messina was talking about it, that Democrats had made the decision to basically just campaign to be anti-Trump. And for the last 10 years, it's been primarily anti-Trump. I remember coming down the stairs with him as president-elect the first time in 2016, and I thought actually he gave a much more open speech to bringing the country together, because that was his first moment speaking as president-elect in 2016.
It's over, folks. It's over. They're now speculating on what Trump's speech is going to be. They're not even. They're speculating on what his victory speech is going to be. Trump is going to be speaking here shortly. If you haven't already, please share out the stream. Let everyone know that we are live. A victory has been called here. Digital asset investor just put out a tweet. He said, pack your Shiite Gary Gensler. Are you bullish enough? Are you bullish enough? Chat. Let me know in the comments what your initial feeling is upon hearing the results here tonight. It is over. Donald Trump will be your president once again. Wow. No, guys, you cannot make this stuff up. Nancy Pelosi just won her 20th term. Democrat Nancy Pelosi has secured her 20th consecutive term in the U.S. House of Representatives, representing California's 11th congressional district, first elected in 1987. From 1987 to 2024, Nancy Pelosi reigns. I mean, I guess we had to give them one, didn't we? We'll give them Nancy Pelosi. America, if you can hear my voice tonight, your next president is Donald Trump. Speech coming any moment now. NBC still doesn't want to call it, but they are speculating on what his speech is going to be. Take a look here at the visuals that we're seeing right now. Trump headquarters. The vibes are positive. It is looking good. This election is about to be called. Trump is about to come on stage here shortly. Crypto is pumping. Watch closely. 74,800 for Bitcoin right now. We already just went and set a new all-time high of 75,000 while I wasn't paying attention. Look at this chart right here. 75,400 for Bitcoin, new all-time high. XRP did hit 54 cents. That was our new drinking game, right? So that means you're taking a shot. That means you're taking a swig. They are dancing at Trump headquarters. They have already left. The Kamala campaign is not speaking tonight. They are shutting it down at the Kamala campaign. NBC still reporting 246 to 194. Crypto is going to rip. Correct, I do believe. Stu in the chat says, I am unburdened by joyous unicorns, Jesse. Stu, you have been set free. Chat, you have been set free. This is now our moment. The crypto army is in control. Bitcoin will be made in America. XRP will be a new world reserve currency. Gold will play a role. No more wars will be started. Debt will be forgiven. The vibes will be back. America, you have yourselves a new president. Oh my goodness, folks. Can you believe it? Trump taking the stage any moment now. Trump can't fire Gary. Why you got to come kill the vibes? Why you got to come kill the vibes? Somebody with the username Trump on TikTok just gifted me a heart. I really appreciate that. I think the real Trump might be in our chat. Before he takes the stage, he was giving me a little heart on TikTok. So the president cannot fire chairmen, but if they've committed crimes, like being the CFO of the criminal campaign conspiracy, if you know, you know, then there is grounds to actually remove a chairman. There is grounds to bring a case against the chairman. And I actually think that we could see Gary Gensler potentially even resign before Trump gets the opportunity to fire him. But yes, it's true. But Trump can elect a new chairman. So as soon as Trump gets elected, he could place Hester Pierce in that chairman role. So he could immediately remove Gensler from the chairman. He can do that. But Gensler would still be a commissioner, meaning that he would still be one of 5 commissioners that gets to vote at the SEC. But Gensler's done. I'm so glad that I put in the thumbnail of tonight's video, Gary Gensler, because Gensler's done. It's over. In the thumbnail, I put Gary Gensler with a smug look on his face, which is the same face that he probably has on right now as he's watching what is taking place. Trump is about to take the stage any moment now. Live visuals from Trump headquarters. NBC doesn't want to call it. Mainstream media doesn't want to call it. Fox News is the only one. This is it, folks. It's over. 54-cent XRP. You're taking a swig of that adult beverage. You're celebrating the pump. You're respecting the pump. The pump is going to be glorious. The pump is just beginning. 54-cent XRP. The party's just getting started. We did tens of thousands of % during the last Trump presidency when we weren't in a lawsuit. Now, 2024, XRP no longer in a lawsuit. Only Ripple is. XRP community in the clear. XRP in and of itself in the clear. Let the pump begin. Massive green candles. 4-hour chart, Qcoin, 54-cent XRP, $75,000 Bitcoin. Let the pump commence. NBC in full meltdown mode. Let's take a listen.
Speculating too much. And part of me, I want the Democrats to take the House because I think there'll be a check. On the other hand, they also will be a scapegoat.
Well, let's be clear. If the Republicans hold on to the House, they have the Senate. If they win the White House, you have an ideological 6-3 Supreme Court. You will have the Republicans in charge of every branch of government in this country.
And not to raise this specter, but it is.
Chat, we are already getting reports from community members. Somebody just said that their crypto portfolio has already jumped $10,000. This is it. This is our moment. This is our time. Crypto's about to go mainstream. We were early. We're about to be rewarded. Everybody's crypto portfolio right now is moving up.
And I know we have some PA homies in the house tonight. I'm sorry if my highway is not exact, but it kind of cuts through here. And I want to talk about this because when we look at the counties and how Trump's doing here, this is where the Hispanics are. This is the Latino corridor, if you will, in Pennsylvania, because I want to show you how important this is. So when we start, we can start right here. We'll start in York County, overperforming in York County. As we move up, Lancaster, about even there. We'll keep going. Berks County here, overperforming again, almost all the votes in there. We go to Lehigh now. She's underperforming. Harris is underperforming from Biden. Trump is overperforming. And we finish over here in Northampton again, Easton, PA. Again, he flips this county, overperforming there. And then I want to show you the polls, guys, right? This was the exit poll that sort of, I don't want to say it surprised us, but this told us that the story was going to be different tonight. This is Trump support among Latino voters in Pennsylvania. Look at this number. 2020, 27%. In 2024, 41%. It was just not Latino voters. And again, I know this could change. These are early exit polls. So look at the breakdown here. White, 55, 57, but even black voters, he grew his margins there from 2020 to 2024. And again, that Latino margin, that spread right there. And I bring this up because we were talking a lot about that Madison Square.
Yes, chat. I know you guys can't hear me. I was talking to TikTok. I had to say some secret things to TikTok. Chat, Trump is set to take the stage any moment now. Crypto is pumping. The vibes are back. You can already feel it, can't you? Drop a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling right now. Let's look at the rest of this market. Okay, so every Trump coin on Solana is pumping right now. These coins are up by 1,000% for Trump 2024. Trump 47 is up 88%. D Mega is up 69%. DJT is up 133%. Interesting numbers. Bitcoin up. Trump up. Grass up. Crypto up. XRP 54 cents. Did Shiba pump? Even Shiba's up. The meme coins are pumping. Dogecoin did take out XRP, but it looks like we got it back. We got it back. That is what I'm talking about. It is so embarrassing when Dogecoin overtakes XRP. We got it back. If you haven't already smashed it, you gotta smash it. You gotta smash it. It is over. Trump is about to speak any moment now. Let me refresh. Wow. Fox News is reporting 267 for Trump, 226 for Harris. Not a victory yet, but we're only 3 electoral votes away. Pennsylvania has been called for Trump. That brings him to 267. Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin. Shout out to my Wisconsin folks. Wisconsin still hasn't called it. Michigan still has not called it. Arizona, Nevada, just getting started with the count. It's over. They won't call it. I will. This is over. Folks, look at it. Live shot. Here we go. Is Trump taking the stage right now? Trump headquarters, live visuals. Let's take a look.
Garrett Hankins there.
Yeah, he's there. We can listen to him and hear what the crowd is hearing.
Yeah. Savannah, I can tell you right now, the anticipation far outpaces the available information about what Donald Trump will say and when he will say it. They're broadcasting another network in here, and we're getting a lot of cheers from a crowd who is anticipating a victory speech. I can tell you on the platform behind me, you probably can't quite see it, but the glass is up. The teleprompter glass is up for prepared remarks. But I think it's possible that part of the...
Okay, chat saying that Alaska is going to be another 3. I didn't realize that we hadn't already given Trump Alaska. Alaska is the next 3 that gives us this election. Trump is your next president, America. This is over. This is done. Trump will be speaking in the next 17 minutes. Make sure you guys stay live here with us.
Tapping through my phone, we're reaching out to campaign sources, but I think part of the problem is Trump himself may not be entirely clear what message he wants to give to the country when he decides to step forward and give it. Savannah?
All right, Garrett, thank you. Let's go over to Peter Alex.
Wifey did tell me to be quiet, so I'm going to try not to yell too loud. I'm going to try not to get too crazy. Wifey did say, you better keep it quiet. But let's go.
to say that we are shutting it down at this point, shy of 2 o'clock here. We're the only ones left, a matter of reporters here who are sort of bundling up their gear in anticipation of the vice president returning to Howard University, her alma mater, as we were told. I guess it's later today. She'll be speaking today, Wednesday, not just to her supporters, but to a national audience as well. Obviously, this thing isn't done yet, but certainly based on the expressions we saw, the information we're getting from those in and around the Harris campaign, it doesn't feel like a win.
There you have it. There you have it. They just did a live update, and I need to go to the live feed, by the way. Okay, yeah, I just went to the live feed. I was only about 1 minute behind. But yeah, no, they're getting ready for Trump to speak. He'll be speaking any moment now, and the press is packing up from the Kamala headquarters there that was at her, what was that, Howard University? I forget what university that was, her alma mater. But it's looking like this is over. This is done. Donald Trump is your next president. Prepare yourselves accordingly. Prepare yourselves accordingly. Van Jones is getting ready to cry. Should we pull up the CNN stream? Do we need to pull up the CNN stream? Johnny just sent another galaxy. Johnny, chat. The vibes are back. Money is flowing. Dogecoin is up 30%. Bitcoin's hitting all-time high. XRP's pumping. We've made a boatload of XRP off of XRP memes in the past 2 weeks. God bless the opportunity. Gary Gensler is gone. Galaxies are being gifted. The chat is lit. Haters are smashing the thumbs down for me, which I appreciate. Smash something. Tap something. We have done it. Bitcoin cooling off right now to 74.5. 74.5 for your Bitcoin. Cooling off. Cooling off. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Wow. Here we go. Trump's about to speak any moment now. Stay tuned. I think I need to pull up the CNN feed too, just to see. Are we going to watch the feed of the mainstream media after this, just to watch the meltdown? Is that the plan? Are we watching CNN? Oh boy. Oh boy. Stu, I can't do it. I can't do it. Not yet. Get your moon boots on. Fully strapped. Fully locked and loaded. There is nothing stopping us. No matter what black swan event they send our way, it will not stop the pump. It will be a hiccup. It will be a bump in the road. Or as I've predicted, it might just be a bloodbath in the markets. We might get hit hard, but as long as we survive, we are back. Trump headquarters live. Take a look at it, folks. Trump headquarters live. Trump will be taking the stage any moment now. West Palm Beach, Florida. From Mar-a-Lago to West Palm Beach, ladies and gentlemen, the next president of the United States of America. Here we go.
Hearing for this as well, because NBC News has projected that Republicans will take control of the Senate after claiming 2 seats. Let's take a look at some of the races, though, that we're still watching. Let's start in Pennsylvania. Senator Bob Casey looking for his 4th term in the Senate. This race too close to call. His challenger is McCormick, and let's look, you can see right there, 51 to 41 so far. So there you have Senator Bob Casey trying to fend off a challenge from Dave McCormick. Let's go to Wisconsin now. Tammy Baldwin looking for another term in the Senate. She is getting a real run for her money from real estate and CEO executive Eric Hovde. Let's go over to Nevada now. Jackie Rosen. couple of months ago, it looked like this was going to be safe for her. This race now too close to call as she is trying to fend off a challenge from Sam Brown. Let's go to Michigan now, this open seat, Alyssa Slotkin and Mike Rogers fighting for this Senate seat in the great state of Michigan as we wait for a call at the top of the ticket in that state.
So we already know that.
The chat is saying that we have secured the House, Senate, and Trump will be your next president.
Those are very tight races, and in the case of Nevada, tighter than I think was expected.
Way tighter than expected in Nevada, and quite frankly, in Michigan, in Wisconsin. All of these races have gotten much tighter in these recent weeks. But look, if former President Donald Trump does, in fact, win the White House, having a Republican Senate undoubtedly would pave the way for him to clear at least part of his agenda potentially more easily. Now, of course, he might be dealing with the Democratic House.
And I'll tell you, the Republican, I just got a text from a source, Republican Senate source, they're feeling pretty darn good about tonight.
Well, we have a few seconds here. We await the appearance of Donald Trump in that hall in West Palm Beach, Florida. We see a celebratory atmosphere there. People, cheering and hugging, and it looks like a victory party. And when the former president steps out, perhaps that's exactly what it will be. However, NBC News has not projected or made those final calls. Let's take a pause right here and give a chance to other stations to join.
In the second administration, your thoughts, 30,000 feet of this win.
Indictments, 2 assassination attempts.
Welcome back to NBC News Election Night coverage, 2024 election. This is the scene at Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach. Celebration has broken out. The crowd now eagerly awaiting what they hope and believe will be an appearance by Donald Trump. The stage
Bitcoin
is set.
moving back up. Bitcoin moving back up. 74,680. So we got volatility coming in right now for your Bitcoin. Take a look at it. 74.6. 74.6 right now, watching it. 54-cent XRP. Will you get another chance to buy XRP sub 50 cents? Will you get another chance to buy XRP sub 50 cents is the question tonight. Let me know, chat. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Sub 50 cent XRP is the opportunity coming again. 74.6 for your Bitcoin. Let's take.
Poured into this race behind former President Trump and has become a very close ally of his. It speaks to what we've been talking about. Young men, there's this picture, Mar-a-Lago, Elon Musk, Dana White, UFC guy, out there with Donald Trump.
By the way, speaking.
Got folks in the chat already saying that they're up $10,000 just off of what's taking place in the market so far. And we're just getting started with the gains. The gains are just beginning. The thing that we have to remember is that the war is not over. The work begins today. The work continues tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Right back here in the captain's seat. And we're going to be back working. Now, we're getting live shots right now. RFK, and I forget which actor that was, but they are dancing and having themselves a good old time at mega headquarters. Stu, that's a good question. Zach in chat, if USA is dragged into war from now until January 6th, who takes charge? Serious question. That is the question, right? Who is in charge right now? It's a really good question. We know right now that Joe Biden is asleep. We know that Kamala has called it a night. One must ask the question, who is in charge? Who is our commander-in-chief between now and election day? Or sorry, inauguration day. Who's in charge? Joe? Joe's in charge right now? The vibes are back. We are so back. Now, between now and January, here's what I worry about. What I worry about is escalation in Russia, Ukraine. Basically, I worry about escalation on all of the war fronts. See, we're already in the middle of World War III. And I've talked about this. We've been understanding this. This is a currency commodity war that's also fought kinetically on the ground right now. The other front that I worry about is China, Taiwan. Now is the perfect time for Taiwan, for the Taiwan move. If that's coming, now would be a great time. The other thing that I worry about is Russia, Ukraine. Moving on over to Israel, Gaza. There's no peace in sight. So I worry about escalations on all of these fronts, while at the same time, the enemy within that we have to deal with. Who's in charge between now and January? The American people are in charge of what's going to take place here in the homeland. It's up to us to be standing up right now, making sure that this gets concluded in a way that, hopefully is some sort of peaceful transition. But it's going to be up to the patriots across this country to hold it down. We know we're going to be under attack. That's a fact. We will be under attack. That's why we're prepping and praying. And yeah, we're having a great old time. We're having a fantastic time watching the Trump pump, watching these markets go up. But at the very same time, we know what they have planned. They are not going to go quietly into the night. NBC right now still doesn't want to admit. They're starting to let it slip a little bit, but they don't want to admit what they know is inevitable, what they know is coming. Now, we were here once again in 2020 when all looked great. All looked fine. And then, well, you guys know what happened after that. So I will not be sitting back and enjoying the show until I see Trump walk down Pennsylvania Avenue into the White House on January 20th. And even then, I will know that they will be working and doing everything that they can over the next 4 years to halt the progress and to stop us from saving this country. Trump is in the way. It's not that, yes, they don't like Trump. Yes, they don't control Trump. What they hate is basically Americans who've been able to live on their own and provide for their own for our 250-year experiment, who can provide for themselves and their family without relying on the government. That's who these people hate. That's who they're trying to shut down. It's just that Trump is in the way. And he said that, didn't he? He said, I'm in the way, but they're really trying to get at you. Those who all we want is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. Get the hell out of my way. I'm not going to harm anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody how they should live their life. I want taxes to go down, generally speaking. If we could get rid of most of them, that would be ideal. And if that means cutting 90% of our government, sounds like a good time. Sounds like it might be effective. Sounds like it might be what we have to do if we're going to address our debt and deficit and our fiscal situation and be adults and have an adult conversation. Or we could just be like these kids that have been brainwashed in the school to think that everything should just be handed to us. And we should just be sitting around waiting for the next handout. We should be sitting around waiting to have somebody take care of us. And we shouldn't fend for ourselves. We shouldn't be self-sufficient. We shouldn't have a life full of purpose. America is alive once again, and you can feel it. You knew that this was coming. If you were being honest with yourself, just as I was being with you guys, even though I was losing subscribers for saying what we can all see was the most obvious thing. The Kamala campaign was the worst presidential campaign in our nation's history. Fact. Undeniable. Anybody could have seen this. You don't have to be an expert on politics. Take a look around. Have a conversation with the business owner. Because, yeah, the polls have been saying all this and that. I speak with real people. I speak with business owners. I speak with people that have had to be burdened by everything that they have done to destroy this opportunity over the past 4 years. This, to me, is not even so much of pin it on the Democrats, pin it on Joe Biden. I am so disappointed with the Rhino Republicans who have sold us out in the same way that these Democrats have as well. This, to me, is not one party or the other. Like I said, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. Give us the rules of the road. Let entrepreneurs and capitalists within a free market provide value to the marketplace, and the winners will win. Let the winners win. Let the winners produce. Let the winners hire more people. On the flip side, we have Elizabeth Warren, who thinks that we should just confiscate the wealth from the wealthy. Which is exactly what the taxes are, is confiscation of wealth. And they want to pick out the billionaires, even if you took all of the billionaires' wealth within our country, it would only be enough to pay the interest on our debt for about 4 years. I remember John Deaton mentioning that in the debate with Elizabeth Warren. If you took all of the billionaires' wealth, it would give us, enough to cover our interest on our national debt for 4 years. Now, where I come from, we call that pissing in the wind. And so this is why I've been saying, just get out of our way. We're not going to harm you. We're not going to take away any of your rights. I know everybody's so concerned about one little issue. Even though, by and large, the majority of people say freedom, say your choice, say you do what you want to do, and leave it up to the states. Just get out of our way so we can start building. It's just like Elon tweeted out. I shared that tweet just about half an hour ago. He says, builders will be able to build once again. That's what we need. We got too many leeches, right, within our country. We're letting in more. Versus allowing the producers and the builders to thrive freely. Now, right now, we're looking at shots from Trump headquarters, and it looks like Trump is set to take the stage here any moment now. I don't know if he's waiting for something. Everybody's already given Pennsylvania to Trump. They're showing a metric right here that says battleground president. It looks like he's winning in all of these swing states, including Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada. This is over. This is a red wave. This is a house that look right now is 196 to 168. The Republicans have 30 more seats than the Democrats in the House. Now in the Senate, it's 51 to 41. Stu says, please, no more winning, sir. I'm sick of winning. Please, no more. It's hurting him. Okay, chat. We're going to stop winning. We're going to shut it down for Stu. Just kidding. Stu, I'm sorry, brother. We're going to be winning for another 4 years. We're going to be winning for a long time. Somebody says turn on Fox. Well, here's CNN right here.
Of the people he is surrounding himself with, people who try to essentially stop him from his own instincts.
Yeah, and also, you know, I think as they're looking at today and
yeah, we don't need to listen to that. We don't need to listen to that. We're waiting for Trump to take the stage right now. It's over. CNN won't call it. I know they won't. CNN won't call it. NBC won't call it. PBS won't call it. The best is yet to come, absolutely. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. My phone died. The TikTok chat is dead. I forgot to plug in my phone. My TikTok chat is done. Phone died. TikTok chat is done. Good night, TikTok. Hopefully they make it to the YouTube and X stream. See, hopefully I got it plugged in there. Let the peaceful protest begin. Exactly, Bailey. We were always supposed to have a small, limited government, take the chains off and empower humanity, free the med beds. We got a lot of good stuff coming our way, don't we? We got a lot of good stuff coming our way. It looks like they are preparing the stage for Trump right now. There's somebody on stage adjusting the microphone. It looks like Trump is coming on here any moment now.
Once he gets there, he'll get past 270, or he'll get right to 270, and that's where he'll stand tonight. And when we hit 2024, he'll likely get to 272. Again, and we haven't called Wisconsin and Michigan, so it could grow from there. But as Savannah mentioned, he got to 270. That's the magic number. We're projecting that Pennsylvania is a win for former President Trump. He is headed back to the White House.
This is all, of course, assuming that Alaska and Nebraska and the Maine district go the way that we expect them to go. So just to, I think Tom is making an excellent point here.
NBC just called it. It's official. The mainstream media, everybody bow down. The mainstream media has declared a victory for Trump. Oh my goodness. Did this actually just happen? Chat, are you still awake? It's 11 o'clock on the West Coast. It is 2 p.m. Eastern. It is 2 o'clock in Florida, in West Palm Beach, where Trump is about to give a victory speech any moment now. November 5th, 2024, here on the West Coast of the United States. November 6th, 2024, depending on where you're at. If you're in the Midwest or the East Coast of this country, it is November 6th. Aussies in the chat. You guys are already on November 6th. You guys are eating dinner, aren't you? The Aussies are putting shrimp on the Barbie. while they celebrate Trump becoming the 47th president of the United States of America. Shrimp is on the Barbie in Australia. Trump is about to speak any moment now, guys. NBC just declared it. It's over. Trump is your president.
For being presumptuous to go out and write a...
For all the talk about the 2016 vibes, and I'm sure it's in your text messages as well, yours, that this feels a lot like that. There is a distinction here, and I defer, of course, to the former Hillary Clinton campaign correspondent, but there was, in some ways, an air of inevitability around Hillary Clinton that just didn't exist around Kamala Harris. She wasn't even supposed to be on the top of this ticket 6 months ago, right? So it was a very different vibe coming into this. She talked about, and her campaign cast her as the underdog here in this race, not as the sort of heir apparent, if you will. So there are some distinctions here.
By the way, this is the third straight election in which it appears that pollsters have underestimated the Trump vote. I mean, we will see. We don't have all the numbers here, and we can all do the comparison, but it does appear that he, at least, maybe it's not a polling miss, because those were, in most of these battlegrounds, dead ties, and within the margin of error. And if it's in the margin of error, it's not a polling miss. But there's no question, Tom, that in the counties that you have now memorized.
Now, that's a good point there, Bailey. I'm reading your guys' comments right now, and Bailey says, I did not think that we'd have the mainstream media admit it tonight. Praise God. See, this is what I was hoping for, is that we'd get a clear Trump victory and that they would actually concede. Even if we don't get the Kamala speech till tomorrow, but the mainstream media is conceding tonight, that's going to be positive. It doesn't stop us from, avoiding the black swan or whatever they're going to do in retaliation. Right? Are they going to hand this over to Trump? Smooth, nice, peaceful transition. Markets are going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. Or are they going to hand this guy, a mess? This is why I'm worried. This is why I'm concerned. This is why I'm hedged right now. They are admitting it. This is the scenario that we hope for. But now we just hope that it's not contested and it's going to be a peaceful transition. But this is over. Trump is your president.
The sentencing is in the New York State case, and then there are 2 federal cases which...
And of course they're talking about his cases, right? We just elected a felon as president, is what they're going to be focused on. Here we go, folks. They're about to take the stage. Take a listen in.
That he would free all of the January 6th convicts. We'll have to see how that works functionally. And he'll fire Jack Smith on day 1, and again, the deportation force, which he has promised to start.
And we're firing Gary Gensler.
How that all unfolds.
And we are firing Gary Gensler. Thank you very much.
The New York State Court will do with the sentencing date before him, whether he just tables it or, in any event.
that could mean another Supreme Court intervention to try to find out
it could. It'll be very interesting. Yeah, it's an experienced judge. I don't know what he'll do. He may just, recognize what's going on. And in the end, it is a business records case. So he may decide, okay, the conviction stands, but choose not to sentence to jail, which actually would be in line with similar.
All right, guys, we need to run up the chat right now. Let everybody know this is going live. Trump is about to speak. You need to share out the chat. You need to smash it. You need to tap it. We got to share it out far and wide. Any moment now, Trump is about to take the stage. Let's go.
A holding period right now. The crowd is I guess, watching some speeches or videos right now, and they're waiting for the former president to come out. We don't know whether he will claim
We got the guy in the brick
again,
suit.
We have not.
We got the guy in the brick suit right there. Brick suit has been spotted. Bricks confirmed. Gold era confirmed. Vivek Ramaswamy confirmed in the house. Roger Stone live. Chat. Have you smacked it? Have you tapped it? Have you shared it out far and wide? Let's go.
States such as Alaska, you know, I think that by calling Pennsylvania, you know, it's sort of all over, but the voting. But we will wait for the official moment of 270 votes. But I can guarantee you Donald Trump isn't. There's Vivek Ramaswamy, Doug Burgum. These are former opponents in the primary who were quickly dispatched and then came over to the Trump side, and perhaps they have stars in their eyes about what roles they may play in a Trump administration.
There's another piece of history that if this goes the way that it seems likely to go here, and he.
They're already talking about a Trump administration, folks. It is on. It is on right now. Let's check the markets real quick. Real quick. Bitcoin 74.4, just below 74.5. XRP just below 54 cents. Big green candles coming in on the Trump victory. How much more can we run? I think we still got a lot left in this rally. I think that we rally till we get black swanned, till they drop the big one on us, till they launch whatever they have planned for us, folks. We are going to continue to rally until then. Any moment now. Any moment. Here we go.
See, Mr. Trump.
Lester, they're listening to a discussion of the race on Fox News. Beyond that, I'm still embarrassingly bereft of much programming information. The Trump team briefly took down the teleprompters that had been on stage for the last hour or so, leading us to believe that Trump was going to come out and speak off the cuff, which sort of tracks given that we knew he had not written any remarks earlier in the day. Then we just a moment ago saw staffers come back out and reassemble the teleprompter. Trump's son, Eric Trump, just posted a picture on social media of the former president backstage holding papers that appeared to be remarks, perhaps rehearsing, getting ready to come out. But the guidance we have gotten from the campaign remains unambiguous soon. And beyond that, we are left to wait and wonder with the rest of you as I'm watching staffers make yet another adjustment to the former president's teleprompter on stage.
Yes, it's getting to be late here, and we are awaiting former President Trump, and we're just doing a switcheroo here with getting our Capitol Hill correspondent in position here. We can have a lot to discuss with him as we talk about and potentially a new Washington. We haven't called the race yet, but we've called Pennsylvania, and that just about does it, as all of us who've been studying the map certainly know by.
They just can't help themselves. They don't want to call it, even though they know they're already talking about a Trump White House, but they just can't call it. They just can't help themselves, right? They just can't help themselves. I'm checking Twitter right now to see if we have any other updates. Any other updates right now? Elon's getting ready to let that sink in. Here we go. Elon the Musk. Here we go, chat. The future is going to be fantastic. Elon sending the rockets. That looks like our crypto charts, our crypto portfolios right now. Digital asset investor, Trump. It's over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here's the picture. Trump soon to address the nation and his joyous supporters. Whole lot of joy. A whole lot of joy. Cenk Uygur is taking it well from the Young Turks. I bet it's just a full meltdown over there. I bet it's just a full meltdown. Live shot right now. Vivek in the house. Vivek. Roger Stone. It's about to go live. Somebody says Chris Larson is looking like an idiot now, and he paid $10 million for that honor. You know, like I said, shout out to Chris. He knew. Chris is too smart. I said it from the very beginning. I don't believe these guys. They're full of you know what. Chris is too smart. He's too smart to think that she had a legitimate chance. That's why I said from the very beginning that I thought that it was marketing dollars. Chris threw away $10 million worth of XRP so we could get some more attention, so we could hedge our bet. There's no way. He had to have known. S&P futures, S&P 500 futures add 800 billion of market cap as Donald Trump wins the 2024 presidential election. The US dollar has soared to its highest level since July of 2024. Maybe I need to check that DXY. DXY, how are you doing? How about that for a green candle? DXY, dollar index, hello. Where's Gary at right now? That's a good question. I saw that in the chat. That's a good question. Where is Gary right now? Whoops. Not looking good. Trump, any moment now, is going to take the stage. Stay tuned here. Wow. Mark Cuban has just announced that Trump won the presidential election fair and square, and also congratulated Elon the Musk. Mark Cuban. Thank you for playing, Mark. It was fun. We had a good time. Thank you for playing. You completely exposed yourself. Love it. Anthony Scaramucci. Let's go. That one hurt him. You know how much that hurt Anthony Scaramucci. Okay, I just got an alert on my phone from Apple. Watch live. Trump is set to go. Yep. Getting my Apple alerts. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Anthony Scaramucci. Congratulations to real Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Wow. Now, this is the signal. This is the signal that 99% of investors don't understand. They won't understand, and they better watch out, because this is a signal that ain't good. Ross Hendricks says, hate to rain on the bull parade in crypto land and equity futures, but this melt up in bond yields can't end well. So this is a bond market that's saying, yes, Trump is winning, but there's a lot of crap that the United States is going to have to deal with. And I'm just going to sell off this bond now, and maybe I'll reconsider buying in later. Right? So the bond market is selling off on anticipation of a Trump victory because they're assuming that we're going to run high deficits because Trump is going to introduce the tariffs. Now, whether that actually happens or not, this is what the bond market is doing in response. The problem is that the bond market is directly working against a Federal Reserve chairman in Jerome Powell and a Fed that is trying to cut rates, that has been trying to ease. Or were they just trying to ease and cover up for the Kamala campaign? Right? How does Jerome Powell come and give us a rate cut when the market's at an all-time high? See, they went from trying to say how strong the economy was because Biden was in power and they were trying to run with Kamala and they were trying to say that everything was okay. So the economy was strong. Okay, let's take your word at that. The economy's strong. Trust me, bro. I'll trust you. Okay. Well, the stock market's also at all-time highs. So how do we get a Fed rate cut if the stock market's at all-time highs and the economy's so strong? See, they've exposed themselves, and the Fed's been backed into a corner, and they've lost all credibility. The problem is that despite us seeing this and recognizing this, they can still tank this thing as they hand it off to Donald Trump. And that's what I'm worried about. Is it the retaliation? Is the implosion of this market before they hand it off to Trump? That's what I'm worried about. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat right now. Let me know in the chat right now what you guys think about this.
And 2016, aside from the candidate himself, the operation was far more disciplined than what we saw in those previous two election cycles.
Absolutely.
Chris LaCivita, who I covered for a long time as a political reporter in Virginia, Susie Wiles, they at least kept the overall message of the campaign, very focused throughout the entire time. Now, he would get off the rails from time to time. That made their lives difficult. But you found them keeping everyone together and focused on a specific message.
Yeah, let's shut that guy up real quick because the next president of the United States of America is about to speak. Folks, let's go. Melania, Barron at his side. Donald Trump Jr., Dana White. America is back. Let's go. See, Trump has the black folder right there. That's a big, thick black folder. He's coming back. We caught them all. He doesn't have a red folder. It's black. Folks, we are back. Let's go. The next president of the United States of America, I'm going to let it run. Let's go.
Thank you very much. Wow. Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible
political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And, winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. A great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races, and I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job, works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like this. Sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like, he's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it. And then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words.
Wild. Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden. Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, say something.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate, and he's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and, of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Susie. Look at this. She's shot. I've never seen her be shot before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And because, especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight. And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated, the water. This was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer. He's slightly longer than me. Hits the ball a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him Marines because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words, because people love to hear from him. Dana,
please. Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bustin' with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
That is a piece of work. No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned around. It's got to be turned around fast, and we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna do it in every way, with so many ways, but we're gonna do it in every way. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hard-working people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight, when you think. I mean, I was looking at it. I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time. But we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 901, something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try, we have to try, and it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term. When we became more and more successful, people started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
America.
Former President Trump making about 25 minutes worth.
America, we are back. I see some dance moves. What do you guys say? Should we keep it going? Should we save our country? I just gotta say, can we make sure that we elect Barron Trump? Because you can see him right there. That guy, is he a giant? Is Barron a giant? Dude looks like he's pushing 7 foot. Look at this guy. Tell me that shouldn't be our president. The dude has been trained since birth. Barron Trump. I don't know how long. What, he just turned 18? So what do we got? Another 17 years before he can be president? Another 17 years before Barron can be president when he turns 35? We got to get Barron in there. Hey, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure tonight. We've been live for nearly 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 18 minutes. I'm going to wrap up this session here on the way out. If you guys haven't, please make sure you guys have subscribed. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Please make sure you like this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I want to give a special shout out to our community that's been here with me since the very beginning. Through the ups and the downs and through the past few years, we thought that we were going to be able to make a little bit more headway. We thought that we were going to be able to let XRP breathe a little bit more. But I remind you guys, as I wrap up this session here tonight, that in the past Trump presidency, we saw these assets start to move into price discovery. XRP went up to an all-time high, pumping tens of thousands of % when it was out of a lawsuit on a level playing field. We find ourselves in the same exact position with Trump coming back. Has he said that XRP is the one? No. But he's saying Bitcoin's going to be made in America. We're going to be the leaders in crypto. He doesn't even understand crypto, but he's moving us in the right direction, which is why I titled the stream tonight, XRP Trump Pump. I did so in anticipation that Trump was going to secure this victory here tonight. It looks like it is done. We're going to go to sleep here now, assuming that Trump is going to be our president, assuming that all goes well, and we pray that we have a peaceful transition to restoring America back to its greatness, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field is what we are fighting for, is what we voted for, and is what we are, making headwinds on right now, against this enemy that I don't think is going to go away silently, that I don't think is going to go away peacefully. So please continue prepping and praying. Stay tuned with us here. We're going to continue to bring you guys the content that matters most, the current events, the financial markets, and how we can take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. The chat was super lit tonight. I had so much fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. God bless all of you. Have a fantastic night.